I'm an odd creature. Listen, I gotta say it, big dog. The stuff I do when nobody's around is so outlandish, so unorthodox, that you might look at me funny after this video. But it's okay. People been calling me weird all my life, so honestly, I'm fine with it. At this point, I'm embracing my weirdness. This video can either be relatable, or you gonna look at me like a waste of life energy that should have been swallowed instead. Oh, Jesus, I can already tell. Niggas finna be on my neck in the comment section, bro. Also, like the other two, this video is a remastered version of a video that I decided not to re-upload to this new channel. Let's proceed. Exhibit A. I am terrified of shower curtains. Whenever I get a new place, I leave the tub booty butt naked. You can see everything, no shower curtains. Listen, big dog, I don't know why. Like, y'all probably looking at me crazy like, what the fuck? What is wrong with this abnormal ass motherfucker? I don't know, bruh. Man, you got folks out here scared of needles, the ocean, Astroworld, but you out here scared of shower curtain. What? Huh? You know what's messed up about this fear? If somebody ties you up to a chair, goes to Google and makes you watch shower curtains for 4 hours. Like, imagine somebody coming into your house, right? They like, where the bathroom at? You tell them where it's at. 30 minutes, they're gone, right? You wondering where they at. They ain't taking a shower. They ain't taking a dupe. They said they had to piss. Pissing don't take that long. You walk inside, they having a seizure. And you're wondering why. Whole time, it's because of a freaking shower curtain. Like, what? I had this one girl stay over one time and she didn't complain about the lack of curtains at all until I joked on her, right? We was having a conversation. I decided to joke on her one time just to see if she would pass the vibe check. She get offended and start joking on my lack of curtains. I didn't care. Why? Because I wasn't planning on getting curtains anyway. I'ma stick to my bucket naked bathroom. I don't care if J. Cole or Drake gave me a verse. I ain't doing it. It's just because I'm terrified does not mean I won't walk into somebody's bathroom and still bathe. I'm not a stagnant creature. I'm not a degenerate. I fight my demons every single day. Wake up, put the gloves on, and we box it out. Sometimes I knock him out, and sometimes he float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And I get right back up. Exhibit B. Whenever I take a I put tissue on the same toilet that only I sit on. It makes no sense. Like, your butt has only been on the toilet. So what's the problem? You fucking weirdo. Like, whoa, calm down, big fella. Tyrese needs all of the tissue. You don't. Don't let me walk into your house trying to use the bathroom. I'm gonna make you pay another $10.99. Don't say nothing when I walk inside your house. Leave the money, just give me the tissue. I'll be on my way. Exhibit C. Instead of me going to the store to buy an actual rug to put in front of the tub, I use the rags that I use to wipe my ass as the rug. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, germaphobe, or why is this only bathroom oriented? Well, if you haven't figured it out already, I'm gonna continue to let you figure it out yourself. I don't know why I trust towels more than I do rugs. I don't know, but I know one thing. If you let me take a shower in your house, just go ahead and get ready to throw on your shoes and go to the store, because you finna lose $5.99. If I was a robber, don't expect me to rob a bank. I'ma rob the laundromat. Like, imagine you being in a hostage situation, the robber come in talking about something, I want all the towels, leave the money. If you don't get confused, I'ma assume you're the person behind the operation, because you're weird, buddy. Don't worry, it ain't gonna be like this for the rest of my life. You might catch me at the point of my life where I'm not terrified of these things, or maybe you won't. Who knows? I'm an odd creature. Big Dog Incorporated, how may I Shut up. I don't care about your morning routines. Pull up to the crib right now. We playing Storm 4. Man, say less. The party is get the fuck out. Introverts, extroverts. I really can't say that I'm either or because I excel in both categories. However, one is just harder to maintain than the other. You can go as far as to say, I'm gonna make up a word for it. Omnivert. Wait, is that a word already? Let me look that shit up real quick. I've been tug of warring with both of these traits for a majority of my life. That's right. I'm a hybrid, baby. And I'm finna show y'all exactly why. Most people that know me or they've talked to me in the past, they said I come off as an extrovert and were shocked when I told them I'm actually more of an introvert. No, baby. I'm just forcing the extrovert side out of me because I have to, which requires me to become social for a certain amount of time. You ever been an introvert at an extroverted job? It'll get your blood boiling. You gotta talk to humans. Welcome to Big Dog Eats My, hold up, give me a second. Welcome, big dog. Would you like to try our new mix 'em up combo? If not, order when you're ready. I'm telling you, boy, you gotta catch me on the right days. Some days I might be the life of the party, but then other days you might find me in the corner shooting dice with myself. Don't be showing up to my house without telling me beforehand, or I'ma ask you to leave. Like, I guess you could call me a popular loner. I don't know. People get pissed off when they hear that term. They be like, oh, he's a sad, lonely. No. We're not sad and lonely. We just enjoy being away from you. When I tell y'all I tug of war with both of these traits daily, I'm not capping. Majority of the time, I love staying in my house, but I love doing stuff and going out. However, when I go out and do stuff, my social battery dies fast. And I think I finally found out the reason why. My introvert side is so much stronger that I get pleasure from being alone. Thus me being a popular loner. Like when I'm able to just sit alone and think, I get pleasure from that. So when you see me deep in thought, leave me the fuck alone. I'm having fun. You're ruining it. But then at the same time, my extroverted side, when that small percentage comes out, when you see me turning up, ain't no standing around. You might as well turn up with me because I got a time limit. We don't have long before I'm ready to go to the crib. All this courage I built up to dance in front of people or be loud in front of people and be myself, or just to get to know somebody when I really don't feel like getting to know somebody, cannot be in vain. Because I'm the type of person where if I go to a party, depending on what timing I'm on, I'll act accordingly. If I know you like talking and you're a social butterfly, I'm gonna use you as a social shield so I won't have to talk to people. Oh yeah, I get real selfish when I'm on my introvert timing. Like even if we're close friends, don't call me 24/7 expecting me to pick up and give you 120% of my energy 25/8 at a time. Because when I'm on that type of timing, I get annoyed really fast. If we haven't talked in months, I'm perfectly fine with that. The only 3 people that should be calling me 24/7 are me, myself, and I. Like y'all ever talk to somebody and your social battery just dies mid-conversation? That happens to me all the time. Like I don't care if I was talking to Kanye, my battery's gonna die mid-conversation, unless I'm on my extroverted timing where I have to force myself to raise my energy so I can talk to any and everything that moves. I was at a family barbecue the other day. I was looking down at my phone for majority of the time, but at the same time, I was looking out at my peripherals and I seen my grandmas and my aunties and my granddads and my uncles all looking at me for whatever reason, like I'm supposed to turn up the party or something. Like, my nigga, get off my chesticles. And then they try to do like small talk and shit. I hate small talk, bruh. I'd rather you hit me with some deep conversations or just an interesting topic, like how puppies can read our minds or some shit. But niggas always talking about some, man, well, how was your day? What you doing lately? Nigga, we ask the same questions every time we go to family dinners. When can we talk about spaceships or something? Or going to the, I think I'm ranting at this point. I can recall a lot of times when I used to live with my parents and people would come over and I'm in my room and I was having the time of my life by myself and I wanted something to eat or drink and I had to go through the living room just to go get that exact thing. And I knew if I made my presence known, I would have to interact. It wasn't because I was shy. It was because of the small talk that I knew was coming. I'm telling y'all, I really hate small talk. It's so bad to the point where I remember this one time I walked out of my house and I was about to go to my car, right? I see my neighbor, she walks out of her car. I'm like, oh shit. I already know she's gonna talk to me and try to get small talk out of me. Let me go ahead and walk my ass back in the house. Like, y'all ever done that before? I know I'm not the only one that does that. Come on now. Speaking of talking, I'm very dangerous when it comes to my introvert side. I pay attention to everything. So that means I can figure you out just by listening and watching. I will sit there, shut up, and listen to you talk while you tell me everything about yourself. And at the end of this conversation, I'm gonna know everything about you and you will know nothing about me. Why? Because I sat down and I listened. Now, if somebody catches me on my extrovert timing, I'm gonna do exactly the opposite of what I just said. I get too comfortable and then I yap for as long as you want me to, as much as you'll let me. And then I start oversharing things. And then I realize to myself after this conversation that, dang, maybe I shouldn't have opened my mouth in the first place. A couple days ago, I went on my Instagram and I did a poll on my story just to see if y'all were introverts or extroverts, just to find out that a lot of y'all were the thin line between, just like me. And you know what? I know I wasn't the only one. My people. All right, let's be honest. Most people nowadays only go to college for the experience.
I beg your pardon?
You're not going for no possibly useless degree that you 9 times out of 10 aren't gonna use in the first place. You there to get crossfaded and do short bus stuff with your friends almost every night. Those 4 years are either the best times of your life or the most mid. That's why I say most, because college is really what you make it. After high school, if you choose to go to college, it's the first time you taste freedom with or without consequences. So some people pull up on campus focused, driven, ready to take on the world. Some people pull up ready to lose the absolute last cell in their brain. And then there's these weirdos. Look, bruh, I'm gonna keep it $3.99 with you. I didn't go too crazy, but when I went to college, I did my work, but a degree was the last thing on my mind. You think I was worried about an online math test on Thursday that I obviously cheated on using Quizlet? Or an in-person test that I obviously cheated on by writing the words on my arm? No. I wanted booty, distributed substances, and memories being made. I didn't need college. What is this, the 1950s? Like, don't get me started on the mindset that you don't need college to become wealthy. That's for people who think outside the box and actually want to be something in life. Duh. You can be a hybrid. Like, imagine having your priorities in check, a plan, a disciplined mindset, and streams of income that you work hard for and thought outside the box to get while still having fun in college. Like, bruh. Are you glazing yourself again? Because that's the accolades and mindset you have. Yeah. Like I said, college is what you make it. Once you get there, you're surrounded by people from all over, so there's a high possibility that there's gonna be that fresh batch of students that all have different personalities but the same motives. The first one being the party freaks. For some reason, these folks be out all night, every night, and got an infinite amount of energy. What, they got a chug jug or something? They be at every event, every function, every building, every dorm. They know and are known by almost everybody and be on side quest all the time trying to get double XP. Like, they don't know how to relax at all, even when they go to sleep. I know, cause I was roommates with one and I barely ever saw him. Woo! Party! Yeah. Woo! Party! It's the same routine for them 25-8 because it's the first time they don't gotta sneak off to a party or event. They could just go. Shoot, I guess when you take a dog off the leash, the first thought is to always go, okay, let's do it. Ah! In they brain, life is a highway. And they go ride it all night long, but then wake up later to 3 missed classes at 10 a.m. from a blackout after being crossfaded all night at 5 clubs. Or with a stranger in your bed.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
And speaking of clubs and parties, it is a known fact that guys don't go to parties to have fun. They go to clap cheeks. Girls be the ones that go for all that nonsense. I can't tell you how many times I was at a party or club and I seen a bunch of guys waiting for a girl to twerk on them and wasn't having fun at all. How many times I seen girls throw it back on another girl like, why? You telling me you got all that sausage in there and won't throw the buns on them?
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I'll tell you straight up, that's the only reason I went to parties, for the women. No straight male wanna go to a place that's a sausage fest. So if it wasn't no women, then I stayed my black behind on campus and had small gatherings that consist of a hangout spot, food, and short bus activity. Especially since I'm an introvert, I live for the small gatherings. And even then, unless it was my main group, I needed approximately 5 business hours to get my mood in check, just so I could socialize. 4 hours of sleep and 12 hours to figure out if I even want to go. You throw me a chug jug and I still might not want to go. Which brings us to the potheads. If chill was a person, it'd be them. These would be the people that usually has the lighter hanging from their belt, smelt good most of the time to hide the scent, real quiet, probably had about 2 or 3 ashtrays in their room or car, and will be high 25-8, but can still function like a regular person because they've mastered the art of controlling the high. Well, actually, not all the time. Sometimes in class, they be so deep in outer space that they become a literal waste of space.
Jimmy, come to the board and solve this math equation.
I'm so zooted right now.
I said come to the board.
Why is this apple talking to me? I think you need to put down the edibles. They're making you become intellectually disadvantaged. She said she'll let me into her what? You go to their room, they're in the clouds. Find them in class, outer space. They give a speech in front of hundreds of people. They on the verge of playing cards with Kobe, but can still function properly. And every time you see them off or on campus, they always rolling up or high off of something. Shoot, I can't talk. I was one of them potheads too back then, especially when I tried my first edible. I don't get high anymore, but when I did, I never had any an issue getting anything because there were plugs on campus that everybody went to, never talked about in public, and would be taxing like crazy depending on who you went to, and they always had both items in their inventory, edibles and the plant. Bruh, in all my years on campus, I would always wonder to myself, you got cops at every corner, staff all over the place, the police station across the street, and y'all don't smell the gas at all? What y'all doing, smoking with them? Like, it never made sense to me because some dorms would smell like straight gas and police will walk through it acting oblivious as ever. You know what? Now that I think about it, they probably was trying to play cards with Kobe too. So I can see why. Next, we got the NPCs. Boring. They not there to party. They not there to have fun. They not trying to make memories, which is fine. You don't have to do it. Me personally, I try to balance them both, but that's all they do. They go to class, head to the library, and go back to the dorm for the rest of the night every day until 4 years later they get that slightly useless piece of paper. That's it. The students that skip class all the time, the students that don't do squat and group projects and get credit for your work at the end, the students that join an organization and treat you like the gum under their shoe, the die-hard band students, if you know, you know, the students that ask those irrelevant questions and hold up the entire class.
Mr. Ballsack, if birds push babies out the nest, doesn't that make the mama a deadbeat?
You know what, Jimmy? I never thought about it that way. The people that claim they broke college students but have zero student loan debt and get sent money every week by their parents, drive their parents' car, go drive that same car back to their parents' house every weekend, and be in the Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, and Subway line every morning and night but swear up and down they broke. Yeah, I see you, bozo. The student that guzzles the teacher's meat every class. The student that comes to class once every blue moon but still somehow passes. The athletes that cheat because all they do is focus on the sport. The low-key student. The school clout-hungry student. The student you see one time on the first week of school and never see them again. The student that finished their first year of psychology and think they know how to analyze everybody.
As a psych major, I think you're projecting your anger towards me because you have suppressed anger from living with your grandma because your parents were deadbeats and didn't want you. Trust me, I finished Psychology 101 yesterday.
No, that's not why I'm... Shut the freak up.
See? Suppressed anger.
The big-headed STEM major that gotta brag about STEM and everything STEM. And if you major in anything non-STEM related, they'll treat you like the gum under their shoe. Like, look, buddy, I know STEM is hard and you're gonna do all these crazy things with your degree and you think other majors are easy so you don't respect it. But try getting them 4 F's off your degree transcript before you start talking. The students that smack down everything in every dorm and the students that get smacked down by everything in every dorm. Yeah, I'm talking about y'all, you harlots. All right, so that's the types of college students I can name off the top of my head. If I think of any more, I'll just make another video. Here's some recent long form videos I uploaded that you probably missed. And here's some recent shorts I uploaded that you probably missed. And go check out the second channel. We just hit 50K over there. All right, I'm finna go eat a sandwich. See ya.
Hey, listen.
So back at school, I used to be on the football team. And you know what really grinded my gears more than the practice itself? The locker rooms before and after practice. Yes, the most toxic place in all of humanity. But why, Devonte? Because it was like prison. Once the coach let everybody get dressed or wash up in the showers and shut them doors. Come out to play. And that's one of the reasons why I hated locker rooms. And trust me, there's more. So first off, it was like a fucking jungle every time I walked in. There was always somebody at the top of the food chain trying to devour the weakest link in the food chain, i.e. the douchebags picking on the weakest targets. You leave your locker open and they think you won't do nothing about it, get what? Took. They turn off the lights and they think you can't defend yourself, get what? Smack. If you don't, in 30 seconds to a minute, get in, do what you gotta do, and get out quickly, get what? Harass. The douchebags did everything in their power to make those 30 minutes to an hour living anarchy. But the madness doesn't stop here. Man, I remember a couple times in the locker room, bruh, this nigga AZ, you know, the little dude from this story I told y'all about, before he eventually quit for the basketball team full time, dude whipped out his cock in front of everyone, walked around and was like, if you look, you gay.
Boy, ain't no fucking
Hey,
way.
yo, what the fuck?
Boy, ain't no way.
This nigga serious?
Then right afterwards, Buddy proceeds to pull out his cheeks, walks around and was like, if you look, you gay.
Boy, ain't no fucking
Hey,
way.
yo, what the fuck? This nigga serious?
Yep. Sounds about Aiden Ross. Hold on. it doesn't stop here. Grab a towel, cause it's about to get slimy in here. Another thing I hated about the locker rooms was the fact that during the showers, the douchebags always came unprepared. Man, I had a nigga come up to me one time while I was opening my bottom locker talking about some, hey, you got some soap? And of course I didn't. Even if I did, you ain't getting it. Yeah, I'm selfish. So I turned my head around to tell him no. And the first thing I see in my personal space, towering over me, was his big black body.
I am disgusted.
You know how many times that happened to me, bruh? Niggas was asking me for towels, soaps, clothes, all while being booty butt naked. It got to the point where I was just like,
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
you know what made things even worse? I had beef with everybody. But why is that, Devonte? Because they all treated me like a waste of sperm despite being in the middle of the food chain. So I matched their energy, and they didn't like that. Man, I had beef with the coaches, my teammates, the support team. The equipment manager wanted to fight me because I called his assistant's BS out about her having this big attitude. Like, I don't know why the nigga wanted to fight me over the droop over there built like a tree stump with a grass allergy. It wasn't my fault your little chihuahua had anger issues. I had them too growing up, but you don't see me foaming at the mouth anymore at everything everybody does.
Why you on my dick? Word.
Somebody say something stupid now, I just hit them with the Rise of Deception out on all platforms now, bro. I had so much beef with everybody that you would have thought I wrote the lyrics for that Playboy Cardi song. Like, it was beef I didn't even want. All I wanted to do was mind my business and go about my day being unproblematic and outspoken. But nah, I had to deal with all these lame-ass, ugly, Crash Bandicoot body-ass, goof-ass people harassing me because of my social status or whatever they thought about me. But you know what? It's alright though. A little dirt don't hurt because it fertilizes a strong mind. So whenever I got the chance, I took out all my anger on the field. Somebody come get this man an ice pack. Yeah. That's a raw description of what I went through in the locker rooms back in school. If I could go back though, things would be a lot different, which would kind of be a bad thing because all of that made me who I am today. I guess that goes into the, little dirt don't hurt, you know what I'm saying? Oh! I'm an overthinker, a really bad overthinker. So bad to the point where I become overly cautious about everything. Like I need constant answers and responses just to keep my calm. It's a trait about myself that I've finally accepted and currently am trying to overcome after it almost destroyed a lot of my friendships, made me miss a lot of opportunities, ruined my mental and spiritual health, and most importantly, almost made people distance themselves from me because I tried to fix situations that weren't even a problem to begin with. It's so bad to the point where I get so paranoid about certain situations and I'll think of every possible way something can go wrong. Like I'll hesitate and I'll think about that something all day and it'll turn into a conflict that I want an immediate answer to. And if I don't get a solution, then my mind will start making 30 more unnecessary problems. For example, the other day, 7 o'clock in the morning, I walked in this smoothie joint early as a mug. Got to the counter to order. The employee walks towards me with the biggest smile, full of life and enthusiasm. I'm ready, thinking I'm finna be a regular Joe and order 1 or 2 smoothies. Let me get 4 mango smoothies. Instantly, that smile dropped it like it's hot. Her entire aura shifted from I'm ready to I'm not ready. She dipped to the back and go make my smoothies. 3 minutes later, she walk out with them still looking like she wanted to shoot herself in the foot. Heck, I would too, looking like that, Squidward. Had me thinking like, what you mad for? Like, ain't this what you signed up for? Ain't this your job? I guess you ain't ready to make that money. Soon as I get to the car, I realized to myself that she made them drinks mighty fast. Like, this is what I usually get, and it usually takes somewhere around 6 to 7 minutes. What if she spit in my drink? Took a dump in it. I don't even know. Isn't she had to have took a dump? Maybe she put bleach in it. She probably put laxatives in my drink. Peanut butter in my drink? She put a glob of spit in my drink. Maybe I'm just overthinking. Overthinking sucks, man. I know the feeling all too well. It's the thing that keeps you awake at night. It leaves you struggling to make decisions, makes you second guess yourself in the decisions you make. It leaves you dwelling on a problem instead of looking for a solution. It affects how you work, how you operate. It affects your mood and just everything under the sun. Now hear me out. I ain't no professional, but I deal with this same thing, so I can only give you my advice based on what I do specifically to overcome my overthinking. This is just what I do. You can try it out. I'm not guaranteeing you anything will work instantly because things don't happen overnight. Here's some things that I do that you can do as well to try to overcome your overthinking along with me. Number one, I think about the here and the now. Forget about the past, the future you can't touch. Just focus on the present. In the heat of the moment, stop, breathe, and assess to yourself what you're thinking and how you feel. Try to be more aware of your thoughts and not let your thoughts consume you. The goal here is to monitor them so you can understand what they are and why you're feeling this way. I do this a lot. Hope that helps. Number two, I stop worrying about what I can't control and focus on what I can control. So, for instance, if you got a test in an hour and haven't studied the first note, don't sit there and think deeply on how impossible it is to study that much in a short period of time and accept an F. Take a step back, focus, and study as much as you can in that short period of time. Any studying is better than no studying at all. You never know, you might get lucky and cop a D or a C instead of an F off that short studying alone. Try it out, see what happens. Number three, manifestation. If you constantly tell yourself, oh, I'm a bad overthinker, or anything of that nature, like I tell myself, then that won't help at all. You're basically limiting yourself without knowing it. So instead of doing that, replace those thoughts with the opposite. Thoughts that'll lift you up, not indirectly tear you down. Remember, you got power over your emotions. Your emotions don't have power over you. You know, unless you're a psychopath. I believe that what we say to ourselves is what we believe we are. If I constantly tell myself, oh, I don't overthink things, I don't let my past dictate my future, or I'm a clear thinker, and make the executive effort to make these positive emotions reality, then you're doing more good to yourself than bad. Try it out. Number four, I practice becoming aware of what I fear. A lot of times we as human beings fear our imaginations more than we fear what's in the real world. Like, we're afraid more of what might happen or what might be. A mistake we can make, what people think of us, failures, all the above. These are some of the reasons why we overthink, in my opinion, based off of my experiences. So to combat this, one thing I try to do is to just jump into action with a contingency plan. Basically, constant acts of courage. Listen to me, and this is based off of experience. The more you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, the more those situations you'll be used to. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. For example, when I can't make a decision quickly, beforehand, I'll just take a step back and ask myself, what's the worst that can happen? And when I figured out what's the worst that can happen, I'll make a contingency plan. Personally, I try to take baby steps towards my fears just to see what can happen so my fears won't control me. And, you know, usually this helps me gain more confidence so I can go in less afraid of what can happen. All right. These are things that I do to overcome this problem daily. I also pray a lot to the big homie upstairs. That really helps a lot because my relationship with the Father is very important for my mental health and spiritual health. He's the only person that can supply me with eternal peace. Philippians 4:7. I know this ain't your usual Storytime Devonte The One video. I got a playlist if y'all want to go check those out, but I really wanted to touch on this topic because I feel like there's people out there that may not have guidance. So I really hope this helps somebody out there watching. I want to thank y'all and the big homie upstairs for 400K subscribers on YouTube. It's been a long time coming. I've been creating content on YouTube since 2011 and didn't blow until 2020. Let me spit a rap for y'all real quick. I had a dream like Luther King. I never stopped until I reached it. They always doubted me. They really thought I couldn't achieve it. Bars, nigga! For my new goals, don't even worry about that, sweetheart, because this is just the beginning.
You know, when you see me on the internet, you're probably thinking, man, Devonte The One got 1.1 million subs on YouTube, 450,000 something on Instagram, almost 500K on TikTok, became a legend in the YouTube animation community that inspired both millions of people and my creator peers, and is undeniably the most creative person in the YouTube animation space, and the list goes on. His DMs are probably swimming with women. Well, I don't mean to brag, but you might be wrong.
But what the hell, boy?
Yeah, that's brother Star.
Boy, ain't no way, bro.
99.9% of people sending me DMs for the past 3.5 years has been just men!
My YouTube analytics say my audience is 79% men, 19% women. Where is the estrogen, bruh? Why do I barely see females, supporters or not, hit me up besides the ones I run into in public? Y'all scared of something? Man, y'all done made me get tender, bruh. And as for the women I try to shoot my shot at to get into the 0.1%, I can't get a break. I've been taking deep three-pointers, half-court shots, layups, off the backboard missed dunks, full-court shots, half-court dunks, free-throw dunks, full-court dunks, every possible shot at women outside of the 0.1 I could think of, and all of them missed. Not a single. Thanks, baby girl. One! Man, it got to the point where I started thinking to myself possible reasons why I keep getting ghosted. Like, it could be they have quote-unquote better options. Maybe it's my appearance. My riz might be trash. Maybe they don't know how to coherently extrapolate their idea of how they feel in a conversation. Maybe Tyrone broke Fatika's heart and now she needs a dancing clown to entertain her and temporarily fill the black void of a heartbreak in her soul. That sounded personal. Amazing job, love. It was. So let me tell y'all about the most recent ones. So it was like 2 months ago. I'm in my office room of my house scrolling through my Instagram feed. I end up seeing this delicious, probably nutritious, sweet thing on my feed. I'm like, oh, my. She was beautiful, bruh. Curly hair, brown skin. Ooh, she looked good. But she lived in Brazil. Lucky I'm getting a passport, so I decided to hit her up in the DMs, and I thought to myself, man, I'm just gonna text her and forget she exists because I know for dang sure she ain't finna text me back. So a couple hours later, she texts me back.
It should have been me, not him. It's not fair.
However, she says she don't speak a lick of English. She only speaks Portuguese. Yeah, I know. Thank y'all I live in the age of Google Translate, because trust and believe it was my friend throughout this entire thing. So our first couple texts were like, you probably get this a lot, but I thought you were gorgeous, so I decided to hit you up. My name's Devonte. Nice to meet you. She like, hey, I'm Brazilian. Do you know how to speak Portuguese? I acted off an impulse and lied my butt off knowing I don't know a lick of Portuguese. Talking about a little bit. I'll try my best though. You know English? See, the Most High don't like liars because it goes against his laws. So I'm working on that nowadays. Don't lie, y'all. You don't want people to judge you. I get it. But still, it's better if you just keep it 100, bro. Like, I get it. And if it happens off an impulse, I understand. But still, let's try our best. So after I asked her if she speak English, she like, not at all. You can teach me. Oh. Somehow I knew this was gonna fail because I lied and she didn't. And she rizzed me up in the process. See? This is why you shouldn't lie. It just pisses the Most High off and makes things worse. So I try to bounce back and dunk in the lob she just threw. I'm like, of course, love. I don't care. You could teach me something, I teach you something, and we can both eat while doing it. She like, you'll just have to come to Brazil to pick me up then. I'm like, I'm landing the private jet tomorrow. She started giggling. And you know what they say about men who can make a girl giggle. But you know also what was kind of irking me through this whole situation, and like I knew this was gonna fail because of the thing I was thinking in my head? Bruh, first of all, how am I gonna teach somebody a language when I don't even know their language? That doesn't make sense. Vice versa. She doesn't know a lick of English trying to teach me Brazilian. Does that make sense to y'all? This is how I low-key in my spirit knew it was gonna fail also from the jump. But you know what? I had a little bit of hope because she was so considerate of me that she was like, do you prefer English or Portuguese? If you want, I can use the translator. Oh. So we texting for like 3 days about literally everything. The past, the present, the future, all that. In my head, I thought I found Mrs. Right because her responses, humor, and overall vibe gave me mindless behavior. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the 3rd day, I replied to her last text, and after that, 6 days went by. Nothing. On the 6th day, she texts me as if she just didn't ghost me during an active conversation. I replied to it a couple minutes later, and next thing I know, a whole month goes by and nothing. Ghost town. Got a blast. She dipped. I ain't heard from this girl since, even as I'm posting this video right now. And the whole time she was posting on her IG story throughout the entire thing, bruh. I'm talking about shawty had me depressed, cause most of my life, the ones I always wanted never wanted me back. I was in the shower listening to Pretty Brown Eyes, Mindless Behavior, Music Soul Child, and LL Cool J. I was in the mirror questioning if she ghosted me because I'm ugly or something. Bro, I felt like that one scene from Everybody Hates Chris where Chris got his heart broke, cause I really wanted this girl, bro. But don't get it twisted though. This ain't my first rodeo getting my heart heart broke. I just do this every time it's the ones that I actually want. You know what though? It's alright, cause since she been gone, I've been focusing on improving myself, and I gave my life to the Most High Yahuwah, and he done blessed me with the opportunity for a new challenger that approached that's giving me the same effort and energy back. And for the first time in my life, she actually likes me back. Oh yeah, she and I stories are being written as we speak. What King George said, if you wanna go, baby, go ahead and walk out the door. Cause one thing that you gotta remember is one monkey don't stop no show. This train gonna keep on rolling. Dang, that nigga left.
Nah, bro, you gonna whoop my ass, bro.
Come on, bro.
Fuck it, bro.
I was about to say, come on, man. I'm with it. Yes, sir. I'm with it. What the? 9 p.m.? It was just 11 a.m. a second ago. Wait a minute. Why are all these tabs open? I could have swore I said I was gonna go back to work after one video. Wait a minute. Is that TikTok open? How long have I been scrolling? Americanized Chinese food? I don't even like Panda Express. Oh my God. All right, it's 9 a.m. My routine's done. I'm finna focus and finish this video out loud. It's only 9 a.m. I don't gotta go to sleep till 3 or 4 a.m., so I got time. But after this video, I'm gonna get straight back to work. I procrastinate, like a lot. Even worse than my overthinking problem, and I feel like there's a lot of bad reasons why. Anybody else got this problem too? Huh? Man, what? You too? That's crazy. You know what though? It's gonna be alright. Cause your boy Sensei Dev got you. Yeah, man. Trust me, my guy. Get out that pen and pad so I can throw you this advice to help you and me out. We gonna get through this together. Reason number 1, I'll do it later. Ugh! You know what that means? That means you're not doing something here and now, not living in the moment. Avoid that sentence at all costs. It'll destroy you slowly. Trust me, I struggle to avoid it myself. So what I do to combat this, even though I struggle with it myself, is practice mindfulness. It's about living in the moment, like doing it here and now. And I know we all got something that hinders us from putting in the effort, like maybe it's distractions, you know, the phone, big booty holes on the gram. Gotta check out that player bill, you know what I'm saying? The TV, gotta finish that season of Oh My Ghost. Oh man, the homies wanna lace up the size 12s in Smash Bros, even though I gotta get something done that's due tomorrow, stuff like that, whatever the case may be. I understand. But at the end of the day, as long as you're trying to combat this problem, bruh, that's all I care about. Does all that make sense? You get what I'm saying? Like, let me know in the comment section. Reason number 2, I doubt myself a little bit too much sometimes. Bruh, whenever I work on a project, I set myself to such a high expectation because I know the limits of my abilities. I have no limits. Sometimes I be stuck on certain video outlines for days, stressed out, overthinking everything possible. Ooh, maybe I should, nah, what if I just, man, this ain't good enough. Bro, it is okay to doubt yourself. Like, just don't let it be the reason that you procrastinate. That's bad. One way I try to combat this personally is by practicing building confidence in whatever I work on by giving 120% of effort and focusing on what I think is good enough. Does that make sense? Like, y'all get what I'm saying? Let me know in the comment section. It's a lot of pressure. I know, easier said than done. Reason number 3, fear of failure. Oh my glob. This is the one I struggle with the most. I'm a person that likes to succeed, so I take this to heart. Now hear me out, and I thought long and hard about this whole entire subject. I feel like the source of that fear is what you define as success. Let that sink in for a second. Like, Do you value success in numbers, validation from the world based on your work, making your audience feel something like inspiration, happiness, etc., whatever the case may be? And when you fail at said thing, you either fall into a slight depression or take the L and keep it pushing forward by bouncing back 10 times harder. Easier said than done though. See, in my case, my problem is whenever I try to control something that I have zero control over. And that's something is feedback. Thing about me is I don't like to settle for average. I like to go above and beyond average. I like to put in effort. I just have a limited amount of time to do it, which makes things 10 times harder. I want to make every video better than the last, so I try to give it my all and make something perfect. I want each one to be the best thing I've ever seen in my life. No flaws, outstanding execution, but in the simplest form. But then I get stuck on something that's so daunting, like I'm trying to put together the pieces of the puzzle in a flawless way because I set myself to such a high standard and such a high expectation, and I don't want to let my people down. Am I a perfectionist? And then I start overthinking, then my head starts to hurt, I start looking like Jimmy Neutron, and then I stare at the project for like 5 hours, not moving a single finger, trying to put the pieces together. That's when the self-doubt starts kicking in, and then the stress. Then eventually I put the whole project on hold for a while, and then I take a break just to get my mind right by distracting myself for hours, sometimes even days, because I'm so scared of the results and putting out my best work as a whole, which in my opinion is kind of needed, especially for me, because whenever I step away from my work for a break, I come up with all sorts of new ideas, bro. It's so freaking crazy, especially after I sleep, because I'm a creative guy. As you can see, I feel like that's something that just can't be forced. Creativity. At the end of the day, whether I succeed or not on things I can't control is completely out of my control. So what I do to combat this is focusing on the things that I can control and accepting what is out of my control. Does that make sense? Y'all get what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments. All right, gents and gentettes. This has been your friendly neighborhood baseball bat being transparent with y'all once again. I know this ain't your regular DTO video, but dang, let a nigga help y'all out every once in a while. I go through this stuff too, nah I mean? I love y'all, man, jeez. Anywho, I ain't no therapist, but I hope this helped out somebody out there in some form of fashion. I got a playlist for my regular videos and my topic videos like this one. Link is in the description. Mellow Mafia on top, Sensei Dev logging out.
Why, greetings, mortals. I would like to thank you all for consenting to get kidnapped and taken to a place where you're allowed to do your thug dizzle.
Who is this nigga? I know I'm not gonna get schooled by Darth Vader.
Everyone here will participate in 6 different games over 6 different days doing something strange for a little change. The poor souls, I mean winners, who survive, make it through all 6 games will receive a large sum of money to pay your child support or buy the new pair of fresh Air Force Ones or whatever you mortals do nowadays.
And how we know you ain't capping? You knocked us out, took us here, robbed us, and put us in tracksuits. Who we finna race? Sha'Carri Richardson? And then you say we gotta do a little something strange for a little change. Like, let me tell you something, sir. I might do a little something strange for you know what I'm saying, for a little bit of change, but it better not be a little change, you know what I'm saying? I got bills to pay and mouths to feed. Yo, pause?
Every one of you volunteered out of your own free will to be here today because you're all so broke you can't even buy anything off the dollar menu at Mickey D's. And we know all of your information, so I'll give you one chance. Go back to your nagging baby mamas and fathers, debt collectors always on your dick, depressing broke boy lives, or will you submit to a real nigga and take advantage of the opportunity we presented to you today?
So, how much money is it exactly? Oh, that's a lot of money. So are there like any consequences? Like we just go home afterwards?
If you do not pass a game, you will be eliminated.
Exactly, going back home.
However, there is a risk that we will not reveal until the first game.
What do you mean by that?
A risk? You know what? I don't even want to do this anymore. You're making me very uncomfortable. I have a family to get back home to.
We all got families to get back home to that we can't feed. Stupid.
I have no one. They all died. Y'all being some pussies. See, a nigga like me, I love the grind. I love the chase. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in. See me, I'm a selfish bastard. So when I get the money, I'ma buy a dog and die alone. Word. I'm just gonna buy a whole lot of crack. So give me my money. You mean our money? I'm gonna buy the entire NBA so I can play on every team. Hold up. I know you. Why do that? You suck at basketball. Actually, butt cheeks. You need to take that money and invest in a new career.
All right, LeBron, I'll stop.
You want my ring back too? Do I even gotta say what I'ma buy? Like, it's pretty obvious. I do owe 8 bazillion in debt, and my family's on the streets. So, might as well.
I will ask you all one more time. Will you submit to a real nigga and take advantage of this opportunity, or be nothing but a broke boy?
Was that a Flight Reacts quote?
Welcome to the first game. You will be playing Dance Red Light, Green Light.
Easy.
When it shouts green light, drop it like it's hot, or get dropped with this shot. Stop when it shouts red light.
Bro. Sus. I ain't doing this.
Begin!
Pause. I gotta make the beat real quick, y'all. Give me a second.
Alright. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Take it back now, yo. Applesauce, let's go. Crisscross. Do the lunchroom now. Bounce to that.
Wait, hold up. Dude, what?
But I said, move that butt.
What you looking at me for? You heard the man. You better get them knees working or your whole body gonna be jerking.
Y'all must have thought we were capping about doing something strange for a little bit of change. Ain't no cap in my rap, big dog. You better start throwing it back or get your head cracked.
Bruh, pause. On Karama's grave, I ain't doing none of this shit.
Player 24, eliminated.
Big dog, you better start throwing it back or get your head cracked.
Bruh, pause. On Karama's grave, I ain't doing none of this shit. Yeah, that was part 1. You should go watch it to understand what's happening here in part 2.
Seems like the boss died. Should we isekai him or just bring him back?
I'm well aware. I just got done watching it. Don't isekai him, just get the Dragon Balls and summon them back.
I don't know, boss. You sure you don't want me to isekai him? I can send him to reincarnated as a slime. I can send him to Yu Yu Hakusho. Here's a good. I can send him to Dragon Ball. I can send him to Full Metal Alchemist. Like, I can send him to Death Note. I know he's a horny bastard, so, I can send him somewhere with some fan service like High School DxD or Sekirei.
Man, just go get the dang Dragon Balls.
Come forth, Kushron.
Man, y'all need to try this new exotic I just got.
What the frick is that?
Was that a Nardo Wick reference? This hoe strong in the mug, ain't it? This that moral pack.
Dang, boss, I think I need some of that. Nigga, we both need some of that. What you mean?
Now what y'all want? Make it quick, cause the wife at the house waiting to get her back blown out in the bed with this shin long.
Can you bring the boss back to life?
That's it?
Yep.
That's all y'all want, cause this is not reality. Y'all can bring back anybody.
Yes.
Are y'all sure that's all y'all?
Man, just bring the nigga back.
All right. Dang. Hold up, I thought you died in the first game. That may be true, but from the looks of it, it seems as if I survived by plot armor. Why these niggas ain't just isekai me instead? No. I'm not buying that. Sir, can you explain to me how this guy survived and the other people didn't? It makes no sense. I sat here and witnessed this man get his doonies beat down by a ding-dong pistol. What's going on here?
Any more questions? All right. So congratulations to everybody who made it to the second game. For this game,
What the freak is so funny? Why is this man laughing? I want another joke so I can laugh too. Hee hee ha ha.
it requires a duo. So everyone must choose a partner, and you have 10 minutes to choose, or you'll be eliminated. Go. Now that everyone has chosen their partner. Psych, nigga, that ain't your partner, that's your opponent. In this game, you'll be playing marbles. Each person will receive a bag with 10 tiny balls in it.
Yo, pause?
And the objective is to take all 10 balls from your opponent by guessing whatever number they have in their hand is even or odd. Whoever has all 20 before the 30 minutes is up, you win. And as for the losers, well, you've all played Warzone in here before.
Dang, this game's a lot harder than just shaking my ass.
However, there will be a twist to this game, so don't worry. Everyone will be given a random power from a random anime that should help you, but your opponent won't know what your power is until you use it. As soon as the game starts, everyone must privately get scanned by their individual guards to see what their power is, and oof, I feel bad for the people that gets placed with a Naruto nigga.
And why is that?
Begin!
May the best person live. May the best person live.
Player 114, eliminated.
What's your call? Even or odd? Well, oh my gosh, is that J. Cole? No way. Jermaine.
Player 230, eliminated.
Yo, Great Sage, what's the best possible answer here?
Notice, the best possible answer is even.
I choose even. Here, take it. I'ma need another one, Great Sage.
Notice, the best possible answer here is odd.
I'll choose odd. I don't know what quirk you're using, but I know you're using it to win. No one said I couldn't. It's a part of the game, right? Well, seems like I won. What are you laughing about? Are you laughing because you're about to die? Like, calm down, Joker. You just don't get it, do you? This whole time, you've been trapped in a genjutsu. I was trapped in a genjutsu this whole time, blah, blah, blah. I know. Here, I'll do it for you.
Player 456 eliminated. Again!
Secrets that I kept from my parents. Yeah, that's a terrifying clip to unload to your folks when you're trying to be vulnerable with them, because you don't know whether they're gonna understand your flaw and work things out by helping you walk more in your truth with guidance and continue to treat you like a human being that makes mistakes like they do, or better, treat you like the angel you were supposed to be in their minds and tie you to the edge of a building. No, son of a bitch! My first secret growing up, I cursed behind my parents' back, like a lot. Like more than the average Joe, even to this day. Y'all know how hard it is to tell these stories and topic videos without cussing a single word? Not that hard anymore, to be honest, because ever since I wrote this video down in my journal 4 months ago, I've been expanding my vernacular ever since, all the way up to this day of upload. So I've made some progress. Anywho, my mom and dad don't cuss and haven't since they were teenagers, but besides them, I curse more than my grandmas, my aunties, my uncles, cousins, my friends, everybody combined. Well, Devonte, why? Well, friend, it's because of my surroundings outside of my home growing up. Everybody outside of my house did it, and I gave in to the pressure. If somebody told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it too? Listen, you motherfucker. I was a different person back then. Thus me saying, growing up, get off my dick. Yay, being a product of your environment. Woo! So great. The people I worked with did it. The people I hung out with did it. Even the people I did sports with did it. So I did it too, and in a way, I liked it. Every time I cussed, it made me feel better for some reason. And I did it behind my parents' back because that's not the way they raised me. They raised me to not do a lot of menace-worthy things, but I still did it anyway. I was a very sneaky child, as you can see. Nigga, I knew my parents would slap the literal black off of me if they found out I was cussing behind their back. So it became like a switch I could turn off and on whenever they were around, but sometimes it slipped out like when I least expected it. Whenever the switch was on, I'd cuss at work. Ah! I did it at school. Party rockers in the house tonight. Everybody just have a I did it on the bus.
Oh my gosh, Jessica?
Chad said he liked me.
No way. Yes way.
Hey, shut your bitch. I even did it in the bathrooms. Ooh, son of a bitch. Literally everywhere. And when I got home, I turned the switch right off. Bro, I liked cussing so much that over time it became like drugs to me and followed me into my adulthood. If my parents knew all the menace-worthy words that have come out of my mouth in my 22 years on this earth, they'd have a stroke. Cause while not bounded by the auras of my elders, I'm not the average cursor, you see. I'm like a serial cursor. When my switch is on, my conversations be 90% cussing and 10% regular words. I have a problem. If you slap some paint on my face and dye my hair green, the streets of Gotham would call me the cursor. No doubt about it. My problem here is not that I curse. It's the fact that I curse too much. For example, when I'm on Discord with my associates, man, shut your bitch. No, don't do it. What the fuck? Zip it. I'm you from the future. Obviously. So what you want, future Trunks? Here to save a timeline? Listen, don't use the actual curse words like we originally planned to do, cause the world ain't ready for the amount of vulgar that we spit out. You know this. We get active. Replace the words instead. I beg of you. You know what? I knew this day would come. I'll listen and do as you say. Huh? So you're not gonna be like one of those idiots who play dumb as if they're not looking at the spitting image of themselves, obviously from the future, and act like everything's fine when it's clearly not? No.
My nigga.
Man, shut your bitch ass up, little I like to see you squirming. I have a problem. Whenever I'm recording a video and I mess up the audio. So there I was, Twizzler betwixt my toes, banana in hand, tied up to the bed, her bra in my mouth. I don't know how it got there. I'm I have a problem. Whenever I'm streaming on Twitch, link in my description, I always gotta catch myself. Man, you stupid I mean, you dummy. I have a problem. Back when I used to live with my parents and they tell me to do the dishes, man, fuck these stupid dishes. I'm young breezy. I do the dishes when I wants to do the dishes. You do the dishes, bitch ass nigga. I have a problem. Whenever I'm on the game and I'm talking trash. Hey nigga, you garbage as hell. Retire. Put down the sticks. Man, shut your bitch ass up, little boy. That's why you almost lost, pussy. Heck, you talking about almost? But did you win, bitch? Oh, and during games, I'm a certified trash talker. I have a problem. Whenever I talk to my childhood friends, man, shut your bitch ass, lame ass, stupid ass, puss ass, dumb ass up, nigga. Buy a dog, die alone. All right, y'all. See you tomorrow. Love you niggas. Stay safe. All right, big dog. You too. Disperse. Oh, hey, we playing COD tomorrow? Yeah, Sirski, I have a problem. Before some of y'all have a stroke, understand that they know it's not me cussing them out. That's just how I talk, and they remotely talk the same way. But I'm working on it, because, you know, for the past few months, I've been expanding my vernacular, and I can say so myself as of today, because this video was outlined 4 months ago at the climax of my problem, that I'm making leaps and hurdles of progress when it comes to communication these days. When my switch is on, my conversations are only 50% cursing and 50% regular words now. Sentence diminishers my ass. I have a problem. In life, people hide things because we're scared of the consequences. That's why I hid it from my folks, even though it slipped out sometimes. I was most scared than a peer pressured teen getting high for the first time. Oh, did I mention the second secret? I got high off of life, like a lot. Soon as I got to college 4 years ago, I was introduced to some, let's just call them edible arrangements and magic pixie sticks. I made a video on it a couple months ago. I gave these two items completely different names in that video, so check it out if you need some context. I ain't really indulging them heavily to like sophomore year. Freshman year was kind of like a prep year, an eye-opener at most. Soon as sophomore year hit, I completely threw out the idea of using the magic pixie sticks and just dabbled with the edible arrangements instead 24/7. Bruh, I used to be in my friends' rooms, gone. I'd be in my classrooms, gone. I'd be in the cafeteria, outer space. I'd be in my dorm room, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. Them edible arrangements was strong, boy, let me tell you. There was not one spot on campus I didn't go to and was not high off of life. Literally, I even drove on the road while in the Shadow Realm, which is something I completely 100%, 1000% do not recommend. Do not do this. I repeat, do not do this. Even though it may be easy for some people, as they say, it is not safe at all, even for experienced people like me. You have been warned. For example, a 3-minute drive will feel like a 30-minute drive. You'll think you're in lane 6 when you're actually in lane 3, drifting off into lane 2. You'll think you're going 70 on the highway, but you're actually going 30.
Well, what makes it not safe?
I'ma let you use your brain on this one. I'ma keep it 100 billion with y'all. I don't really dabble with them like that anymore. Like, it's a very low chance of me dabbling again, mainly because I honestly just prefer not to, because I like being in control of my own mind. Plus, they make me lazy. Like, I'll procrastinate on my goals and the grind when I'm supposed to be working. Trust me, it sucks sometimes because I be smacked for like 3 days just off of one alone. My parents didn't figure out I got high a lot off of life during college until they started watching my videos. Yeah, they're learning a lot about my past. All right, so yeah, had to bless y'all ninjas with another video being vulnerable and transparent again, just to show y'all I'm human too. Now, I'm finna go smack down on some seaweed chips and go watch some anime. Oh, and speaking of anime, we have a video dedicated to that dropping next week. Y'all boys be safe. Sensei Dev, logging out. All right, so I remember this one time my parents took me to the dentist to get my cavity filled, right? And this was around the time before I had my braces, transitioning from looking like Mr. Krabs into looking like Chip Skylark. The thing is, if I didn't get my tooth filled, I couldn't get my braces. So that's how all this connects. My dad always worked late. My mom got off early, so she took me. And usually there'd be a lot of very Caucasian dentist spots around. You know, the ones where you walk in, probably smells like unseasoned food and off-brand air freshener. Every staff member be trying to keep things professional by being overly nice to you with the "Hi, how are you?" voice. Probably give you a peppermint before you walk out the door. Instead of going to one of those, my mom wanted to support black businesses by going to a black-owned dentist as soon as one popped up in our city. And me being who I was back then, I ain't really think much of it. I just wanted to get in there, get my tooth done, get out. And I didn't care who I went to, because at the end of the day, they all do the same job. Now, when it comes to business and keeping your customers happy, I don't care if they look like the humpback of Notre Dame. Keep it respectful and professional 24/7. Otherwise, ain't nobody gonna take you serious. This is what I thought this specific dentist understood, but apparently this was not the case. I remember it like it was yesterday, but I can't remember what day of the week it was, so bear with me. We had just pulled up to the building right after school. We walked in. First thing I see, a lot of chairs, a fish tank, a flat screen TV, and a window for like sign-ins with a door next to it. And I ain't gonna lie, it smelled divine in there. But that didn't take away from the fact that something still smelled fishy. I mean, it is a fish tank in there. What did you expect? Did I ask for your input? Scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelet. My bad. Anywho, I go sit down, my mom signs me in and tells them specifically that she wants them to put composite fillings, not amalgam or ceramic fillings, in my mouth. Next thing I know, my mom starts talking to the lady up front, and of course, my nosy self acted like my headphones was playing music, but the whole time I was listening to their conversation.
Girl, he look just like you. How old is he?
He just turned 16.
Oh, Lord Jesus, time fly by so fast.
He getting on up there. Devonte? That's me. Come right this way, room 4. The dentist will be right with you momentarily. As I'm walking through the door, I hear the window lady talking on the phone in an entirely different tone. Bruh, it literally sounded just like the people over at the Caucasian dentist. Real boring, real dry. And when she got off the phone, she switched back to her actual tone. You know, talking with a little flavor, some sugar, some spice, everything nice. Probably a little sprinkle of chemical X somewhere in the mix. That, my friends, is what you call code switching. My parents did it all the time. So useful when keeping it professional. Stop all that running and hollering in my house before I give y'all something to run and holler about.
Yes, may I speak to Mrs. The One?
Yes, she is speaking. Hey, who snuck a second fish after I told y'all to only get one? Somebody better fess up or I'm gonna get my belt and everybody's gonna say hello to my little friend. Yes, this is Mr. The One speaking. I get to room 4, sit in the dentist seat and wait for old dude. Never fear, the dentist is here. How you doing, young blood? I'm good. How your day been? Trying to be all nice and slick. Great, till I seen you. Huh? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What you said? I said, great, I see you're new. Okay. Yeah, this is my first time. Not gonna lie, that was kind of sus. I know what he said. I just wanted to play dumb and act like it never happened to test him to see what he'd say next. So he walks over to his counter and starts preparing his tools and stuff. We having a conversation and he giggling and cracking jokes, which is cool and all. I didn't mind a dentist doing that, but the problem was that the jokes weren't regular jokes. They were like jokes that sounded like he was indirectly roasting me. And my first instinct was to roast back, but I realized that this is my dentist. He really thought I wasn't catching on to how he delivered them. But no. My Sharingan is always active, my boy. This man was literally roasting me and trying to be sneaky with it. My nigga, you sussy baka. I wanted to address it, be like, hey, nigga, shut up. Just do my teeth. But I was too focused on just getting this over with and getting out fast as possible. So I just let it slide. Then things got weirder. Y'all either gonna laugh or be like, dang, cause what he said next, some of y'all probably gonna be thinking, no, a dentist would never do this. No, a dentist would do this, and he did do this. I put this on everything I love. This nigga literally said this during our awkward silence. Ooh-wee, boy, you got a face only your mama could love.
Is this nigga serious?
I didn't know I came here to be disrespected by that.
Wait a damn minute.
That sealed the deal right there. I got the message. Dude put more energy into roasting all day than he did with his own wife and kids. I ain't gonna lie, it did get to me just a little bit, but I did a good job hiding it. Like, bro, if I look like a Ninja Turtle, wait till I see you on the streets to say it, not at the place of business. Your job is to make sure my teeth are filled and shut up, not break my self-esteem down, dog. Outside, that's fine. But you at work, nigga, keep it professional. Can you imagine paying money to someone to do a job for you just to get disrespected at point blank range? I know a lot of y'all expected me to roast him back or get violent, but I didn't realize how much self-control I had until that day, because you know what I did? I didn't get pissed, stir up conflict and leave. I didn't roast him back. I was a very different person back then. I just simply stayed quiet. Didn't say a word all the way up until he was done. This right here was traumatized 16-year-old me, back when I finally became aware of my past anger issues before then, and over time transformed me into a person that would choose peace even when disrespected, because I was afraid of starting conflict that I knew was gonna get ugly and I didn't want to deal with. Back then, I was a sensitive, angry, emotionally unstable kid growing up. That's why I always kept my emotions in check. I wasn't afraid of anything or anybody. I was afraid of what I'ma do to somebody for that anything. I knew if I would have lost my cool, then somebody besides me would have been 32 feet under. Had it been 14-year-old me instead of 16-year-old me, that room would have turned into a Thugnificent music video, because these hands did not discriminate. Now, had it been my homies, I would have brushed it off and just roasted them back like, boy, I know you ain't talking. Over there built like a depressed Pop-Tart popping a perk 30. But this was my dentist. I was 16 back then. He was 59. Shut up and do my teeth. Like, nigga, if you don't go read the newspaper or knit a sweater or something, nigga. When I got done, I didn't even say a word to him or nobody else. Just walked out to my mom and acted like everything was fine. Didn't even tell her what happened. And you know what makes this even worse? When I got back to the car, my mom wanted to see the work they did with my feelings and noticed they did the exact opposite of what she told them to do. They put the wrong feelings in, and she was angered, big fella. She went back inside and made them schedule a new appointment to fix what they did and put the correct fillings in for free. And after that, we never went back. ever. After that day, I still kept quiet. I didn't tell my mama about what happened until I was 20 years old, 4 years later, and she was angered, big fella. She wondered why I kept it to myself, and I had to explain to her that I didn't want to stir up chaos because I knew she would get mad and raise hell. But she was still pissed because she did it anyway, because of the mess up. See, she's the type of person that will, like me, choose peace, but unlike 16-year-old me, she ain't afraid to raise hell when disrespected. That's the person I learned from, and is the exact same way to this day. We all had a favorite sport growing up. My main four was skateboarding, wrestling, basketball, and football. What was yours? My first love, despite my height, was basketball, because during my childhood, I always dreamed of being in the NBA because of my two inspirations, 2008 Chicago Bulls Derrick Rose and 2012 Chicago Bulls Nate Robinson. Now, not gonna lie, in my elementary and middle school days, I was doo-doo brown water, trash, actually bad. Nigga, I had Flight Reacts' premium deluxe exclusive package. I was a 55 overall with 0 badges. During them years, the only thing I was good for was popping threes anywhere on the court. I was like Steph Curry, but without the skill and the height. I couldn't dribble, I couldn't make layups, my basketball IQ was terrible. I was so bad that the only playtime I got was the last 30 seconds of the 15-minute games we played at practices. I was so bad that I averaged negative 20 points per game. How do you average negative 20 points per game? I need to retire. But with my burning passion for winning and my undeniable will to never give up after taking so many L's over the years, despite my height, 5'6", by the time I got to high school, I became extraordinary at the sport over time. And I also played football at the time, so that helped out too. Every L, every embarrassment, every discouragement led to me sharpening my skills even more. There's nothing more satisfying than playing a sport that isn't made for you and still being not built different, but being built actively superior. But see, here's the thing. I tried out for the basketball team 6 times throughout my childhood. 2 times in middle school when I was still terrible, and 4 times in high school after becoming built actively superior. However, despite being actively superior over everyone over time when I got to high school, I never made any of the teams because of 3 things. Favoritism, my bad first impression from middle school that stuck with me up until high school, and the bane of my existence, anxiety. If you experience this, you know how I feel. Anxiety was the one thing that limited me in every aspect of my life. I really can't say much about middle school, but during the end of high school, when it came to playing some randoms in PE class that were actually good, I dominated. I was a great player. But at actual tryouts, I was always in my head because of the past traumatic L's I took. The sheer lack of confidence in my abilities on real teams because of my anxiety were the sole reasons why at majority of the tryouts, I was still a terrible player. I worried more about trying to not mess up the drills than I did trying to actually do the drills correctly. I worried more about trying to look like I knew what I was doing than just doing it by nature. I don't know, bruh. I just couldn't tap into that same actively superior ability from PE class when I got to tryouts. I struggled with this from the time I walked onto a middle school court and up to the time I walked off a high school court for the very last time. My most memorable tryout of the 6 was the 3rd ever basketball tryouts. I remember it was 9th grade year, I was 15, and all summer I had been sharpening my skills after 2 years of embarrassment. I was chilling outside the building, and before I went inside the gym, I thought I was in my bag. I found out real quick that high school basketball was way different than what I was used to at the time. Bruh, I felt like a lucky college player fresh into the NBA with no prior NBA knowledge. I walked inside and I saw this one annoying nigga named AZ that made my early school years a struggle. Like, I've known this dude since 4th grade, and AZ was the type of person that would do anything at any cost just to make himself look good around other people. Like, he was the loudest person in the room. He always picked on people that were easy targets and were not his size. Anybody that didn't know how to roast back, anybody that didn't know how to fight, anybody that didn't have a status, anybody that was smaller or weaker than him, you name it, he went for it. Not even 30 seconds after I walked inside, the first thing I hear from him was, "You might as well take your ass home. You don't belong here." And for a split second, I played tug of war with my nerves like, should I ignore it or rip this nigga's lungs out his chest? You got lucky this time. So after the stretches and free hooping, coach walks in like, let's go. We're gonna call him Coach Taylor. Now, honestly, I ain't like Coach Taylor, but that's for another story. He walked in, gathered everybody together, did the roll call for everybody, and tells everybody to get ready for running and drills. And for all my people out there that are watching this and are thinking about trying out, take notes on what I'm about to say. In basketball tryouts, at first, what the coach looks for is, are you coachable? Are you able to do the basics successfully, like layups, passings, anything of that nature? And most importantly, can you do basic defense? Secondly, are you good at the game in an actual game versus just doing the drills right? That's why coaches after drills and runnings always be doing 5-on-5s just to test that theory. Most people see those 5-on-5s as just 5-on-5s, but don't be fooled. Those tryout 5-on-5s are just an indirect way for the coaches to predetermine who's already going to be on the team. If you do great on a 5-on-5, you might as well just pick up a jersey because you already on the team, my boy. Before we started the 5-on-5, we did layup and defense drills. We all got in the line. I was confident, calm, and collected. The only thing that was on my mind was don't mess up, just lay up the ball and keep it pushing. So when I got to the front of the line, bruh passed me the ball and I ran down the court. So many eyes was staring at me because of my middle school days, because they were the same boys I went to the middle school with, and I hated every single one of them. When it came to the judgment of basketball skill, they were cutthroat. Hey, I don't gangbang, but these dudes were technically my ops. Even so, I ain't let nothing bring me down. So I get to the hoop and I lay up the ball. I missed the freaking layup. Forgive me, guy sensei. How do you train for 3 months and still can't make a layup? Bruh, my anxiety shot up to the roof. The pain I felt running back to that line was something I'll probably never forget, because the moment I missed that layup, I had flashbacks to middle school when the same thing happened. For the rest of the drills, my whole body was shaking and I was in my head. Like I said before, I was worried more about not trying to mess up the drills than I did actually trying to do the drills correctly. All the niggas I went to middle school with looked at me like, some things don't change, do they? And Coach Taylor was disappointed. And after that, it was like a domino effect. I did horrible in defense drills, the playmaking drills, the pull-up jumper drills, everything after. It was most definitely torture, and that same anxiety and chain of mess ups carried all the way into the 5-on-5s. Crunch time. Of course, on my team, I got picked last, but honestly, I didn't care at that point because it was clear as day that I wasn't gonna make it. But this was my last chance to fight my anxiety and show coach the real progress I made over the summer. Team 3, you up? My anxiety was still the size of a planet, but it was my time to shine and I ain't have no time to waste. I was shaking like a wet dog at a pool party because I knew I had to do something spectacular to the ops before I left there with the element of surprise. A pull-up jumper on the ops, an ankle breaker on the ops maybe. I gotta pull something out the bag. Shoot, they already think I'm garbage when I'm not. I'm just in my head. I get on that court and we start the game with a full court press, and I ain't gonna lie, nobody passed the ball to your boy for about a good 5 minutes. I was about one step away from just walking off the court, because at this point, I'm just prolonging the inevitable and wasting my time, because I knew well that I'm already cut from the team until somebody actually passed me the ball. When I tell you that in the 5 seconds that I had the ball in my hand, I've never panicked so hard in my life. I had 2 choices, either pass the ball or pull up on the ops from the 3-point line. I went with the catch and shoot jumper, but I was losing my mind because I knew if I missed this shot, I would never get the ball passed to me again and would have to retire for good. So I put every ounce of energy I had into that one shot. I really pulled up on the ops at basketball practice. I may have made that one shot during tryouts, but a week later, I got cut from the roster. That same day, I went home and I cried my eyes out in my dad's arms because I really wanted to just be on an official basketball team for once in my life. Every year after that I tried out, I got better and better, dominating everybody at the local basketball gym and PE class. But the same anxiety cycle that destroyed my gameplay whenever I tried out for an actual team repeated every year. And I suffered getting cut from the team every year because of it. If you're somebody out there watching this that deals with anxiety of any kind like I do, here's a tip that I've been using ever since my first year at college to free myself of this anxiety. Constantly put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Whatever causes that anxiety that you're feeling, put yourself in it and fight it to build that confidence so that same anxiety that once ruled your life will slowly leave. Because remember this, pressure makes diamonds. See, anxiety is like a bully. It'll continue to torment you until you put your foot down and stand up for yourself. Only difference between anxiety and a real bully is that anxiety don't got no body to fight you with them hands. It's all in the mind, y'all, which if trained properly is the strongest asset we have. I'd rather have a strong mind than a strong body. So remember, constantly put yourself in uncomfortable situations, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, so that you can train your mind to overcome that anxiety. Because remember, pressure makes diamonds. So about a year ago, I made a video called High as a Kite. And to keep it short, it was basically a story about the first time back in college when I dabbled with magic food that made me ascend into the shadow realm. If you got at least 420 brain cells working, you should know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, for all you newbies out there, magic food is basically any regular food, but with a special plant infused into them. And when you eat them, it makes you ascend into the shadow realm. However, based off of what happened in this story, this time we're gonna break these off into two separate entities. We ain't finna call them magic food anymore. We're gonna call them devil fruits, you know, like the ones from One Piece, and soul fruits. The difference between devil fruits in this case and soul fruits is that a devil fruit in this case is the regular schmegular basic magic food that makes you ascend into the shadow realm. Soul fruits are so much more powerful that they make you ascend past the shadow realm and turns you into a completely different person. For example, a devil fruit will be like Aang in his avatar state. A soul fruit will be like Rimuru from reincarnated as a slime turning into a bro. Spoilers. My bad. If you know, you know. Soul fruits are extremely hard to find, but unlike last time, I managed to get my hands on one, but didn't realize it until I actually ate it because the specific chef I knew had some and didn't tell me because I didn't ask. I didn't ask him because I assumed, based off of my previous experiences at his restaurant, that the food would hit. His devil fruits never disappointed, but oh boy, little did I know, I was in for a wild ride. Now, I haven't ascended into the shadow realm ever since the pandemic started over a year ago, up until a couple of months ago. And I told myself I wouldn't do it again, but when life gave me lemons, I didn't make lemonade. I made an Arnold Palmer. I'm gonna get straight to the point. I ain't even finna drag this out. I remember it was a couple months ago before all the students at my college were about to go back home for the summer. Also, FYI, I wasn't in school anymore at the time. I was just around campus a lot. My boy Sean had just came all the way from Michigan back into town to visit and hang out with the homies for 2 days. He and I meet up first on campus, go to the football game with our boy Sabo. We lost, not surprised. After the game, we decided to go see our other homie when he gets off of work, but before we leave, we wanted to go stop by my chef's restaurant and grab some devil fruits that we didn't know existed at the time. We go retrieve the devil fruits that we didn't know were soul fruits at the time. And before we leave, Sean gets ahead of the game and eats one. I decided to just wait until I get home to eat mine because, bruh, I had to drive. Do you know how hard it is to drive while in the shadow realm? I done did it before. I ain't doing it again. So we stopped by Mickey D's for some food. When I got to the window, I took one glance at Sean and it looked like the devil fruit's powers were kicking in because he seemed fine but calmer than usual. I turned to the window to get our food and I kid you not, when I look back at Sean,
this world shall know pain.
This nigga was gone. And I didn't really think nothing of it at the time because it looked like the regular schmegular shadow realm he was in. So the whole time while he was in La La Land, like, mellow. I'm an anime protagonist in an isekai, and they don't know I'm Dirty Dan. Sir. Mellow. This shadow realm is different. I'd be like, yeah, big dog, I'm sure it is. No, You don't understand. And I sure didn't, because even after we got our food, parked at our homie Ray's job and waited until he got off of work, hung out for a little bit, fast forward to when we all left and went back to our homes the same night, I still didn't believe how gone he was, and he ate a whole soul fruit. I ate a half. So before I get into what I experienced with a half of soul fruit when I got home, let me call Sean real quick so I can give y'all his perspective on what he was experiencing after we got our food that day, because I honestly didn't know how he felt until I did it myself.
It's like that, you know, like the when you had that, like the red line went across his head.
Yeah, the little ting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's ting. That's exactly how I felt like. And out of nowhere, I felt like I told you, nah. And I was gone. I was on a different level. I wasn't on Earth no more, big dog. I didn't know who I was. And everything didn't make sense. Words hurt.
Words hurt.
Words hurt. Words hurt. We was flash step from to the left and to the right. And the worst part about it, no one understood how I felt but me. Yeah. And then when you in areas decided, you know what, it's time for us to unlock our 8th gate. Then you understood what it meant to be a shinobi. I was allowed.
I ain't gonna lie. I was looking at you real funny the whole night. I was like, what's wrong with this nigga, bro? It can't be that bad. It's not that bad. It's literally just the regular.
Like, I might actually draw it out. Loud ninjas, how loud ninjas be like. Honestly.
I had to apologize the next day. Like, I didn't know what you was going through, bro. I get it now.
Like when I told, like, again, it was so bad. I had to leave my chocolate pills with you. I couldn't take them with me. That's why like I told you, I had to leave. I had to go home. Well, not home, to the apartment. It felt like a labyrinth, bro. I felt like I was in a maze runner, bro.
By the time I got home, it was like 1 a.m. I took a shower, and immediately after, I ate half the soul fruit to get half the effect so I could be more relaxed when I sleep, because I thought it was a regular devil fruit with the regular effects I was already used to. I lay down in my bed, 30 minutes go by, nothing, not a thing. So for the next few minutes, I'm like, man, I want my money back. Man, these devil fruits ain't shit. Let me tell y'all what I felt those 6 hours I was in the spirit realm. Bruh, I was so high off of life that I didn't even know how to get out of the bed. And when I did manage to somehow get out the bed, every time I would walk, it felt like my body was glitching. Like my body would turn into pieces, separate, and then put itself back together every like millisecond. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. That's the only way I could explain it. Like you'd have to experience it for yourself to actually feel what I felt. Man, just like he said, I didn't know who I was either. Whenever I stopped walking and would stay in one place, it felt like my body was in 2 places at one time. Like I would walk around the entire house, but another half of my body would be back in my room. Like it would take me 30 minutes to get from one side of my house to the other. And then when I got to the other side of the house, I teleported right back to my room. And while all that was happening, I was seeing a slideshow of my whole life going across the screen. Like it felt like I was talking to God. When I tell y'all I've never been so scared in my life, that scared me more than anything I've ever experienced. Like I really thought it was over. Like I thought this was my judgment. It's a wrap. Everything hurt. A thought hurt. Words hurt. Looking hurt. Everything hurt. Every time I would walk, it hurt. Not like actual hurt, but like, you know, like a really big irritation. Now, this may all sound like I got superpowers or something, but trust me, inside, I was suffering. This actually made me scared to do it again, and I haven't done it since. If I do, though, in the future, I'm going back to regular. That experience made me think like, bro, I ate a half. That nigga ate a whole. So if this is the half effect, what's the whole effect like? I had a whole half piece left. You think I touched it? Absolutely not. If there was anything I learned from this story after it took place in my life, is that making connections is mandatory, which even though I'm an omnivert, I have no problem with, because knowing certain people personally opened up a lot of doors for me to walk out of situations like this. So to start off, I had a couple of family friends I grew up with, but none of them stood out more than the coolest friend I had. We're gonna call him by his nickname I gave him, B-Rye. Y'all ever had that one friend's house growing up that you always went over and it's like a breath of fresh air compared to back at your house? Yeah. Going over B-Rye's house was lit, especially when the squad came over. We'd play video games, we'd watch movies from time to time, we'd trash talk and be loud, we'd binge watch anime a lot, we'd talk about the baddest chicks at school for like 40 seconds and only kept it at 40 seconds to a minute because regular niggas don't sit around and talk about girls for hours. And if you do that, then you're a weirdo. We got other things to worry about, like playing 2K or when's the next chin hair gonna grow out or something. Sometimes we go into the backyard and fight with the swords B-Rye had. Whenever we'd get hungry, we'd all walk to Walmart, which back then was like an adventure because a lot of us didn't have cars. Walking around the neighborhood with friends used to be gas. You know, boys just being boys. When B-Rye's dad was home, he'd always allow us to drink the sodas out the fridge and eat pizza sometimes. And I'ma just throw into the universe that just because his dad allowed us to do all those things doesn't mean I thought his dad was cool. He and I were on mutual terms because whenever I'd come over, our conversations wouldn't even be conversations. You get what I'm conversating? I'd walk into the house, say hello, then got to stepping, all because B-Rye's dad had work in the mornings, so he wouldn't come home until later in the afternoon, and I didn't want to disturb his inner peace sitting on his couch watching his football games with a soda right next to him. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Also, keep in mind that B-Rye's dad was a retired military man. Remember that, because that's key to the story. Overall, B-Rye's house was the go-to for our squad for many years. Fast forward to my sophomore year at college, and by this time, new people came along in the squad. Some people don't talk anymore, blah, 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 blah. I get it, people come and go. Now, almost every day after all my classes were done, I'd spend a couple hours working on a video, then after, head over to hang with my homies. Priorities first, fun last. You gotta respect that, because your boy was on the come-up grind at the time. On regular days, my currently updated squad had 2 places we'd hang out. On the 2nd floor of the main campus building and the game room, which was also in the main building. One day, me and my boy Sean decides to pick up B-Rye, who was like 25 minutes away from us, cause we haven't seen him in some months. And at first we weren't gonna go get him, but I don't know if you noticed, newsflash, cars don't run off of love and affection. I needs the monies. So I was like, it's whatever, it's B-Rye, so I'll pull some strings. We go pick him up and bring him to the campus and go to the first spot, the game room. And keep in mind, we had our bags down on the floor along with other people's bags right next to ours. And mind you, Sean had 2 bags, an art bag and a school bag. We shooting some pool, playing some ping pong, B-Rye sitting down watching. After some time we get tired, we leave and we make our way to the library. We get there, pull out the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, some time passes and Sean looks at me and is like, yo Mello, that was my nickname back in college. I think I left my 2nd book bag back at the game room, which was across campus. Can you and B-Rye do me a favor and go get it, cause I got class? I'm like, okay, I don't mind. Vamonos, everybody let's go. So we venture back to the game room and here's where things get ugly. When we get to the game room, we notice that everybody's bags are gone except for his, and the bag is still in the same area where he left it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's his bag. Still in the same spot, nobody stole it, cool. I grab it, we make our way to the library, and dog, I kid you not, as soon as we get to the library, we get back to Sean. He looks in the bag and notices that's not his bag. Oh, crap. The only thing on our minds was to get to stepping. So we rush out the library and make our way as fast as possible to the game room to put the bag back. And before we ever even got the chance to see the game room in our distance, 2 cops pull up. Oh, crap. They get out their cars, beep their radios, and is like, yeah, 1025, we got the suspects in custody.
10-4, bring him in.
Whoa, suspects? What you mean, suspects? What does this look like, Among Us? He starts pulling out some handcuffs.
Don't worry, my brother, we just gotta detain y'all and take you down to the station for some questioning. Now put your hands behind your back.
Now, officer, just listen. This is a misunderstanding. I can explain.
Oh no, this ain't no misunderstanding. We saw the cameras.
Camera? What you mean, cameras? Everybody around us sitting back and watching like it's a freaking football game. And at this point, we both nervous and scared. But me, I'm also pissed because we didn't know what was about to happen. The whole day was chill until this bull crap happened. But all I know is I wanted to scream thug life so bad while getting into that car, which was the wrong mindset to have at the time because that life ain't nothing to glorify. All it does is bring you some pain and some jail time. For anybody watching that's been in handcuffs before, y'all know that, bruh, it is so uncomfortable. They put us both in 2 separate cars and take us down to the library. But for what? And as soon as we pull up, coincidentally, Sean walks out at the same time they pull up. Talk about divine timing. They tell him that they're detaining him and why, and to get in the car. And of course, with no hesitation, he agrees. But they didn't put handcuffs on this nigga, bro. I was just talking to these two about this memory before recording and animating it, and I'm still mad at the fact that they didn't get him handcuffed. Why? Why were we the only 2 in the cars that were freaking handcuffed? I don't get that. They take us down to the police station. They unhandcuffed us. We walk inside and they tell us to sit down in the chairs on the wall for questioning. Now, keep in mind, there were 3 cops in that room with us. One light-skinned cop that looked at us like we slapped his wife or something. A dark-skinned cop that was sitting at his desk on his computer laughing and joking on us. Look at y'all mud suckers out here committing crimes. Who's the real Dirty Dan? I guess I'm the real Dirty Dan, pinhead. Uh-oh, we got a real comedian over here. He must have not made it because that's why he's here. And a brown-skinned cop that was dogging us.
You did it. You did it. I know you did it. Stop lying to me. I know y'all stole the boy's bag. You can't fool me.
Stole the boy's bag? We didn't steal a bag. This is Sean's stuff.
We got a call from somebody saying that their bag was stolen from the game room, and we saw 2 of you on the cameras that picked it up and left. And Patrick Starr over here was associated with y'all hours before. So admit it. Y'all stole it.
Bro, we constantly argued to this man that we did not steal this man's bag and that this was a misunderstanding because the bag that we took looked exactly like Sean's second bag. And of course, this old man dogs us for 30 straight minutes while looking through our bags.
Stop lying to me, son. Just admit it. Y'all stole it. I swear I'll throw you in jail for lying to me.
Bruh, the more I heard this man yell at us with his fish breath, the more I felt like we were gonna start smelling like old man throat. I'm sitting in my chair like, look at us, old nigga. Do we look like the type to steal? You literally found Yu-Gi-Oh cards, a bunch of childhood drawings, and a pack of gum in Sean's bag. And this man B-Rye got a Pokemon trainer hat and a messenger bag. And I just got a computer and some cards. Who are we hurting? Stink meaner? The old fart's like,
if somebody don't fess up, all y'all are going to jail because I don't like liars.
And the other 2 cops leave into the back after trying to get our IDs. And bro, we were all literally so stressed out because we didn't want to go to jail for a misunderstanding. And the fact that this man literally is dogging us for absolutely no reason because they looked us up and we didn't have any freaking criminal history. It got to the point where me and Sean just accepted our fates and was ready to do the time. And we agreed to make a song when we get out on some T Grizzly type ish. Until my boy B-Rye, the legend, the GOAT, pulled out the Uno wild card on these niggas, bro, and used the realest jutsu known to the anime community. Talk no jutsu. B-Rye explained to the man that his dad was a strict top-level military man and that he raised him on being honest and to never tell a lie, and felt that military kids aren't like that. And then he further explained that he grew up with me and Sean and that we'd never do something like that, and promised this man that we weren't lying, and if we did, then he'd take full responsibility. All as the other 2 cops are walking out. And in my mind, I'm like, bruh, all that pillow talking ain't gonna work on a dude like him, but we don't got that many more weapons in our arsenal, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. And bruh, I kid you not, as soon as the other 2 cops completely leave, this old man's expression went from pissed and determined to sympathetic and surprised after hearing that. We definitely did not know what was about to happen after that because he tells me and B-Rye to go into the break room and for Sean to wait on the wall. And when I say this conversation happened like the others, this conversation even shocked me. Old man looks at us and he's like, all right, boys, listen. I'm gonna let you go, but only because your friend seemed genuine and his father is a part of the military. I thank your father for his service, and I don't think that military kids would tell lies like that. That's crazy, because I know plenty of military kids that lie. My apologies for coming at you so hard out there. I was just doing my job, you know, just doing my job. So you telling me you did all that rah to keep your cop status in check around your coworkers? Reasonable. However, it's under one condition. You can't step on this campus ever again. If I see you, you getting arrested for trespassing. Understood? Now in my mind, I'm like, B-Ride's dad is the GOAT. No, matter of fact, thank God for putting the thought in our head to go get B-Ride that day. Cause imagine if that would have happened and B-Ride wasn't there to save us with his dad's military cred. We walked out that room and Sean looked at us confused, but I gave him the nigga get your stuff, don't say a word, and let's go look. Instantly, he knew exactly what I meant. He got his stuff, the old man gave us our bags back, and he drove us back to the campus. In the rain. When we got dropped off in the rain, we ran over to my car, freaked out for like 20 minutes, and yeah. After we calmed down, I told the guys I was gonna make a video out of this one day. So here we are. After that day, we didn't mention it to B-Ride's dad, but every time I saw him, I'd tell him thank you without telling him why. And he'd look at me like a crazy person. Also, we never brought B-Ride back to campus, ever. Moral of the story, in some situations, it's about who you know, not what you know. All right, I'm gonna keep it $1.50 because I don't need your 2 cents. I done been to a lot of toxic places that turn you from a gummy bear to Alphonse Elric in my life. Whether it be MW3 lobbies, all of Twitter, 7-Elevens, but none of them hold more weight in the round table of toxicity like lunchroom tables do. Except for Rod Wave, but we ain't finna talk about that. But you know what? At the same time, it's actually a blessing. Because even though it's a toxic place, inside a toxic place, when I was a kid, lunchroom tables were a big deal. It's one of the few spots in school where a person can find out what social group they belong to. Because whatever group you belong to, you're treated accordingly. Without remorse too, because like kids, when they're super young, are already rude and brutally honest enough, and make it worse when they get older. Now imagine that at school, but 10 times worse.
It is what it is.
Okay, I see lunch tables like the 4 nations in Avatar The Last Airbender, right? You get whatever nation you get and you stay there. Let somebody at a preppy table you sitting at find out you from the nerd table. It's a wrap. You can't blame nobody but yourself. Like, bruh, you can't expect peace when you're in op territory. It's impossible. Unless that one dude that's basically like the lunchroom avatar, the dude that can fit in with every social group saves you, which might as well be a pipe dream because that only happens once every 100 years. Bro, all I'm saying is go where you fit in and don't try to fit in because it never works. For example, if a shoe doesn't fit, you don't blame the shoe, you just go find another. So if you don't fit in at a certain table, don't blame the people because you don't click with them. Just go find somewhere else that you do click. Throw the deuces up and go find your crew. It's that simple. Today, I'm gonna be letting it rip on a couple lunch tables that may or may not have grinded my gears back in the day. So if you graduated a long time ago like me, then put whatever table you used to belong to in the comment sections below. And the same thing for anybody that's in school right now. All right, so let's start off with the preppy table. The worst of them all. It's basically a bunch of rude, fake, stuck up, ego inflated, narcissistic yes men that think the world revolves only around them. This group usually consists of a bunch of stuck up white folks with at least 1 or 2 stuck up Asians, with at least 1 stuck up black guy, and that 1 mixed chick that only hangs out with white folks, which is completely fine, but dang, sometimes you just gotta put a little spice in your ramen, you know what I mean?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The preppy girls usually wore like small shorts, Converse, and big ass t-shirts that make the whole fit look like they ain't got no drawers under. The preppy guys usually wear little ass shirts with a North Face jacket and little bitty shorts that look like booty shorts. Golly, bro focusing on the wrong cake. I'ma keep it gravy with y'all. I hate these people for the simple fact that they ain't down to earth. If you ain't a part of their little cult, they'll treat you like Beerus did King Vegeta. Like, bruh, y'all ain't got no business treating folks like the gum I spat out and put under my desk. And they be like real quick to shun anybody that ain't a part of their little group. Like, bro, to basically sum it up, if you ain't a part of their clique, what you say ain't finna make them tick. Moving on. Next, we got the nerd table. The best, most authentic, most coolest table in all of school history. Can't nobody tell me otherwise. At this table, is cut up into two parts: weirdo weirdos and the cool weirdos. I was a part of the cool weirdos. You know, the people that beat themselves and were genuinely cool to be around. Sure, we couldn't dress to save our lives, had zero game with females, beat our meat probably about 3 to 4 times a week, and got picked on a lot, but at least we wasn't out here getting in trouble with the law, catching diseases, making unplanned babies, and stirring up unnecessary drama. Put that on your resume. At our table, we accepted everybody, even if you didn't watch anime, play video games, crack dark humor jokes, and traded cards like we did. Dog, I'm a nerd to this day. To this day. Plus, we're actually bearable to talk to, unlike our counterparts, the weirdos. Yeah, they had all the base traits like us, but you couldn't sit by them for more than 5 seconds without them eating a booger or making the conversation super uncomfortable. Like, whoa, relax. Poon Slayer 56, you got about 38 more minutes until you go back to the netherworld. Next, we got the basic black and white people table. Polar opposites. I say that because the basic black folks table is where all the loudest, funniest, most lit people in times are. Ain't no intellectual stuff going on over there, just pure fun and ignorance.
Everybody say sausage, keep it going. Eggs, bacon, grits, sausage. Got that bitch coffee and lick my sausage. Hold up there, IHOP ordering sausage. Eat a pancakes with the motherfucking sausage. Give me that shit, I need some sausage. Lick my dick, that shit up sausage. My shit brown like a motherfucking sausage.
If you want to learn how to roast somebody with maximum efficiency, go to that table. However, be warned, this table is not for the faint of heart. And I say that with the utmost seriousness and experience myself. Be ready to take in what you dish out, cause ain't nothing sweet over there when you roasting, homeboy. If you walk over there unwilling to take mental hits, then you pretty much just trying to poke a stick at a pack of wolves. Now, the basic white folks table is pretty much the opposite, where all the boring stuff happens. That's it. Moving on. Next, we got the athletes table. The most annoying, fakest, ego-inflated, Chad-ass table known to man. It's consisted of a bunch of low-life, energy-sucking, insecure nobodies with the need for social validation because their mamas told them that they should have been swallowed, so they cope with the thought by picking on the weak. Now, I'll admit it. Yes, I'm a nerd, and I was an athlete, but for most of my life, I tried to fit in every social group.
You don't find that suspicious?
So pretty much for majority of that time, just like them, I tried to seek social validation from every social group. I tried to be liked. Primarily because I was always the underdog. I was never in the spotlight. Every time I tried sitting over by my teammates, I was the primary target. That's where I gained most of my character development from. I tried to act like them, tried to dress like them, tried to involve myself with them, which worked a lot, especially when I got stronger than everybody, but I still got picked on because when they seen I was starting to get confidence and started standing up for myself, they started to have a superiority complex over me.
I see all these lame ass niggas, bro, come to the street, bro. I will beat your mother in ass.
Nobody put me through more mental gymnastics than my Chad ass teammates did. Heck, I even made a video on one of those moments. Oh, also, I can't forget about that one guy that's always at random tables pocket watching your plate. He'll always hit you with the, you gonna eat that? Like, boy, if you don't go on somewhere, with your big hungry, big booger bear looking at, no, you can't eat my porridge, nigga. All right, I'ma head out. Sensei Dev, logging out.
Hey, listen.
All right, y'all, I'm gonna be honest. Me personally, I ain't a clubbing guy. I'm more of a group gathering type of person, you know, the anime binge night or go out and do whatever with the homies and a couple girls we bring along, if any at all. I'll still go to them, that's no problem, but I just personally think all forms of clubs are freaking boring. I used to hear the rappers all the time. I be in the club, this, I be popping bundles, that, thinking I would have the time of my life until I went to my first club and my expectations were shot to the ground. It was one of those, hey girl, let me buy you a drink, come to my booth type of clubs. No, sir, that ain't for me. If there ain't no dancing from the time I walk in, you can go ahead and find me posted up in the corner somewhere with my little margarita waiting for the rumbling to happen. I need to see excessive ratchetness and somebody breaking a leg and an ankle on the dance floor. Who finna start it? Not me. No, sir. I realized after my 7th time going to a club that house parties put clubs to shame way later. So I stopped going for a while until last year in 2022 when I took a trip to Atlanta to be on Holla's podcast. Now, this club experience was slightly different, so let me tell y'all how it went. Okay, so that week I took my older brother and my two homeboys, Arius the Aquarius and Amaris LSK, with me along for the trip because I wanted my brother and Arius to get some exposure. Amaris just wanted to come along. I didn't need the exposure because, duh, I'm Devonte The One. I'm already a big creator. I've already built my empire by myself after 14 years of doing YouTube, so I planned this trip only for them. So me, my brother, and Arius get to the hotel. I FaceTime Holla. Mind you, me and Holla already knew each other. We just didn't meet in person until this trip. He ain't know the others though. So we chopping it up. I'm telling him this my second time in Atlanta, and I ain't really explored a place like that before, which is what we were gonna do after the podcast. So then he offers to be our tour guide around the city after the podcast episode was done, which was great because Holla knows his way around town and he's got connections throughout the city, so why not? And the first place he brought up showing us was the strip clubs. Now before this day, I ain't never been to a strip club in my life. I only been to normal clubs, block parties, and house parties. Plus, I always thought strip clubs was a waste of time, especially if you broke. So I avoided them like fat people avoid a diet. Kinda hesitant at first, but seeing as I never experienced it before, neither did my homies, I decided, you know what? Vámonos, amigos. Crazy part is we actually hung out with Holla and his homies for the entire 3-day trip after the podcast. Bro, I don't care what nobody say. Holla was a S-tier tour guide. If he was our Uber, I'd give him 10 stars. Bro took us to so many places, but I'ma only tell y'all about one because whatever happens in ATL stays in ATL.
This nigga forgot to lotion his ankle, so he's using lip balm.
Listen, it happens to the best. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. No, these hoes don't really like ashy ankles. Yeah, don't like ashy niggas. You know what I mean? I mean, my ankle's ashy too.
Hell, I even left him $100 in the back seat without asking as a thanks for driving us around those 3 days because I knew how much gas that probably costed him. So I get off FaceTime with Holla. Me, my brother, and Arius took an Uber to Lenox Mall to meet up with Amaris. We stayed there for a couple hours. Then Amaris drove us to Holla's place, which he wasn't even there when we got there, so we had to wait outside for like 30 minutes because he was at the movies. We do the podcast, and after Amaris had to leave, so it was just the three of us with Holla. Holla drives us to this strip club. I don't remember the name, but it's somewhere in the city. Holla's 9 times out of 10 reacting to this right now, so he probably remembers. So we walk in, right? First thing I see that I ain't never seen at a regular club in my life. Bucket naked scruples everywhere. I'm talking about nothing covered up, bruh. No drawers to cover up the vernacular region. No bra to cover up the Nipolation mountains. I mean, nothing. And bruh, 99% of them were like all over 6'3". Bruh, I am 5'5", but I ain't care cause I like my women tall too. Y'all are not excluded. All this tall and sexy walking around, I was loving it. I told y'all many times in the past for all my OG supporters, I don't climb trees, I chop them down, you feel me? Anywho, I made a fool of myself by adapting to the environment without asking questions. I saw people going to the counter, getting money, spending their entire stack of bread on a fantasy, throwing stacks of cash on the boudet, which is what I thought we were supposed to do. So my pea-brain decided to mimic exactly what those same idiots were doing. My brother did too. So we go to the counter, I gave the man $200, told him to break it into all ones. I give my brother the other 100, I turn around and I kid you not, 263 bucket naked scruples was in front of us, ready to shake that ass. Yeah, I knew that was only there for the bread, but I ain't give a freak at the time because my little buddy down there was happy, and its happiness was my only concern. I was a little bit nervous, but I ended up going through with it anyway. So these two sexy Amazonians took us to the most spacious spot in front of everybody and gave us the dances of our lives right next to each other. He had an Amazon on his power pole, I had one on me. I'm throwing stacks of ones on the boudet. He throwing stacks of ones on the boudet. Then out of nowhere, on Kami, my brother's scripper and my scripper switched guys. I got his girl, he got mine. When his girl got to me, she started going even crazier on me than she did on my brother. Earned every penny. I was still nervous though, cause everybody was watching, but I had a great time. I'm on cloud 9. My little buddy downstairs jumping out the gym. I'm still under the impression that I'm initiating proper strip club etiquette. So after the first dance, I decided to get more money to look for more fantasies. However, comma, us being noob strip clubbers, my brother and I made one primal mistake that every noob makes while experiencing this, which was probably why people looked at us so funny. I'm at the counter getting 300. Holla walks up to me. He talking about, yo, y'all did it wrong. I'm like, what you mean? I ain't see nothing wrong with bumping and grinding. He's like, when you're getting a dance, you're only supposed to throw $1 every like 1 to 3 minutes, which blew my mind because we threw stacks of ones every 10 seconds. So not only did the dances last way shorter than they should have, the scrupples got way more money for less work. So you telling me I could have been in the land of ooh for an hour instead of 5 minutes? Yes. So upon hearing this valuable information, I took it upon myself to make sure the next lap dance was better than the last and in the correct etiquette to get my money's worth. My brother was on his own. I go back to the counter to get 300 more. I turn around and instantly this girl named Sugar walks up to me. Bruh, Sugar was so fine. She was like a 9.5. She was 2 inches shorter than me, slim thick, and I kid you not, the most beautiful girl up in there. I remember her the most because she ain't even start dancing off rip. She started conversation with me first, which was smart because good scribble tactic 101. With the little time y'all got, bond with the client. Works every time for him. Not only was she fine as hell, but this girl was multi-talented. First of all, she threw it back better than both of the stallions combined while conversing with me at the same time. Shorty had a full-blown conversation with both parts of me. Worked for every dollar. Did her thug dizzle. And I think she was kind of lost in the sauce because, bro, when I ran out of money, she kept going for another 5 minutes. I ain't have a single dollar on me and Shorty threw it back like a Cadillac. Did moves I ain't even know existed. I felt like 50 Cent in the candy store because Sugar really left me with a sweet tooth. I never thought I could have the time of my life while clothed. However, despite the S-tier dances, never wasting my money at a strip club ever again. Such a waste of time. I don't know about y'all, but am I the only one that's hated every single 9 to 5 I've worked at in the past? Like, bruh, I worked at fast food places, hibachi restaurants, the block. Man, I got that God of War and that Crash Bandicoot. What you trying to do? Yeah, the playground for me back in middle school was a no-go. All those 9 to 5s had one thing in common that made me want to lock myself in the car and throw the keys out the window. Dickhead bosses. Like, bro, I honestly feel like they be giving power to the wrong people that they know is gonna abuse it. Like, why are you making my day even worse than it already is? I already gotta come here and accrue money to survive. Like, I done seen some stuff, bro. Bosses be doing stuff that they think makes sense, but really doesn't make sense. Ugh. Hey, I got in a car wreck. I don't think I'm gonna make it to work today. Okay, how long before you make it to work?
Didn't I just tell y'all I'm in a wreck?
Okay, how far away are you? I'm 30 minutes away. All right, you gotta find some way to get here because it's almost your time to clock in. I can't walk. We live in the middle of butt frick nowhere. We don't have Ubers. How many times I gotta tell you I can't make it to work? Well, you better find some way to get here or you're fired.
Okay, listen here, you mother... Oof, I'm barely making it out alive and you want me to still make it to work? You stupid bitch!
And these be the same people that do outlandish stuff just because they can. Hey, can you pull a double today? Nah, I gotta go to my auntie's funeral. Okay, so I got you down for a double. Dude, who you think you is? You not finna make me do nothing. You do what I tell you to do, slave. Now do the double or you're fired. Now get back to work. Ah, son of a bitch! Back in 2016 at my very first job, about a year in, one day we got a new boss. We're not gonna use her real name, we're gonna call her Tara. And off the dribble, she was a pain in everybody's butt. She was overly aggressive 24/7, and if you matched her energy, she threatened to fire you. She roasted folks in the back and got super offended when you roasted back. And if it was too much for her, get what? Fired. She never let us rest, and if you did, fired. She talked to everybody like we were freaking 5, and if we matched her energy, get what? Fired. But, and it pains me to say this, I mostly let it slide. Not only because I didn't have a backbone to stand up for myself and was too lazy to go find another job if she fired me, but because of that bakery. Golly, what a wagon she was dragging. Man, that booty alone could take down an army. That thing was massive. And so was her forehead, because when she took off that hat, golly, Shorty had the Mega Mind DLC with the Jimmy Neutron patch update. Like, she ain't even got a forehead. She got a 5-head. Bruh, you know you got a big forehead when you can put all 5 fingers on it and still have space left. I'm talking about everybody used to roast her forehead. But like I said before, if it got too much for her, then you know. But here's the thing. I don't feel bad for her because she always started it first. And oh boy, it always got bad. I remember this one time we was about to close, right? I'm at the station cleaning. She walked by and looked dead at me with my hat off and eviscerated my hairline. Golly, boy, I don't know who cut your hair, but they need to be arrested. Sheesh. Whoever cut your hair got the IQ of an avocado. Bro, I'm talking about she was going in, spamming the square, X, triangle, R2 button, whatever button known to man on my hairline, bro, for no reason. I couldn't just clean my station in peace. And she thought things was sweet over here because I let her ramble on. But she ain't understand I was finna unload the clip on that ass. So I stop her. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I see where you're headed, but it ain't the right direction. Boy, you barbecued. Why you look like Elizabeth from Code Lyoko? Oh, my bad. Y'all must be twins. I mean, I can't tell. Both of y'all heads built like kneecaps. And you ain't fooling nobody. I know you got a second job. Oh, all right. You must be the one hosting football games in that dome. So tell me, who gonna win tonight? The Jets or the Panthers? Shoot, the Crimson Chin ain't got nothing on you. You the Crimson Head, ugly alley girl. I don't know why you here. You'll never go broke. They can just rent parking spaces out on your forehead. Man, I was going ballistic on Shorty 5-head, and she was 38 hot, ready like pizza. And next thing I know, everybody to the back. Since Devonte wants to be a clown, I'ma invite y'all to the circus. Ain't nobody going home till I say so.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Hell no, man.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, coworker. See, when she said that to everybody, I knew I was the center dot on the dot board. I really wanted to be like, it ain't my fault the hoe couldn't take a joke. But I ain't say nothing about what actually happened because like I said before, I didn't have a backbone to speak my mind and was too lazy to go find another job. So I just held my tongue and just took in all the reactions. Bruh, she was so butthurt she made all of us stay 2.5 extra hours after closing until she approved what she thought was clean. Dude, we cleaned up areas that we already went over 3 times before. Bruh, that place looked like the future Chrome Krusty Krab, and she still told us to clean it up over and over and over. I'm talking about everybody was pissed at me, and I don't blame them because hell, I wanted to go home. Almost had me about to quit or just really confess about what really happened. But now that I think about it, would that really change anything? She probably still would have made us overly clean up if I had told them that she just in her feelings and couldn't take what she dished out, and now she's making us do all this. And what had me befuddled was when I overheard her talking to herself talking about, I know where y'all ain't headed tonight. Man, when I heard that, bro, I could tell she was really happy about getting it back in blood, especially with all that abuse of power. Y'all, don't be like Tara. Learn to take what you dish out. Don't get in your feelings when you want smoke, and smoke is what you get.
Listen.
Okay. All right, y'all. So if you've been watching me for the past couple years, yes, before my original channel got deleted, you are an OG. I'm talking about streams, videos, Instagram videos, whatever the case may be. You know I am weird or different, whatever you want to call a unique human being, such as myself. It don't matter what platform it is, bruh. Whenever I let go and just be myself, you see it throughout the entire video. Like, it get real wicked, gangy. Sometimes I'm aware that I'm doing weird stuff and I just don't care what anybody thinks. But then there's some times where I'm not aware. Bruh, it's happened all my life. I get so invested into something and I become unaware and my mind just drifts off to another place that can't be described, which ultimately leads into me doing something stupid. Again, it's happened all my life. I remember this one time back when I was like 7 or 8. It was either between one of those two. I can't remember. It was just me and my sister sitting around, you know, doing what kids do. Stupid shit. Back then, you couldn't tell me nothing. If you told me, Devonte, don't touch that stove. It's hot. It'll burn you. Your skin is gone. I'm gonna be like, and still touch the stove. My sister, she's younger than me. So everything I did, she mimicked. If I decided, man, I'm gonna jump off this cliff without a parachute, she'd probably push me off and jump along with me. Mans. We were both sitting around chilling, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't remember why or how a bag of coins got in me and my sister's hands, but we were playing with the money. And I don't mean in a good way. Y'all are probably finna be on my neck in the comment sections. But when I say we were playing with the money in a bad way, not a good way, we were putting the money in our mouths and spitting it back out and putting it back in. Like, bro, what the fuck? Emphasis on put your money where your mouth is. Like, that's insane. You probably thinking, what the fudge? I ain't never seen no person on this planet be this ignorant in my life. We really could have been doing something regular, like building bed forts. Could have been outside riding the scooter, on the block, doing our done dizzle. But nah, we inside trying to collect coins and level up like this Pac-Man or some shit. The only thing I did before this that was even remotely stupid to what this was like put foil in my mouth. That was the closest thing I ever got to grills. Listen, I don't know why I did it, but you know, I guess it felt good or something. I don't know, bruh. I don't know. If I could go back in time and ask my 8-year-old self why I did what I did, that little nigga would probably look me in my eyes and be like, why the hell do you care? My brother tried to warn me that I was probably gonna swallow one of them, but I didn't listen to him. And you can't save somebody that don't want to be saved, so he just let it happen. He's like, all right, whatever. Do you, buddy? We actually found enjoyment in doing this. I don't know why, honestly. But we did it for about a smooth 10 to 20 minutes, right? I'm thinking in my head the whole time, dang, ain't nothing finna happen to me. I know exactly what I'm doing. Ain't nothing finna go wrong. And I only told myself this subconsciously because I was controlling the flow of the coins every time they went in and went out. I got this under control. Everything was good. Everything was smooth for a whole 20 minutes until... Oh shit! My sister looked at me like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this. She put the coins in the bag and slid that to the side. She ain't want nothing to do with them coins no more. I'm over there panicking, crying all. I'm talking about a whale could have swam through them tears. Like, I really thought I was about to die. Like, bro, I really was paranoid. Like, bro, I just swallowed something. Is it gonna cut up my organs or something? I don't know what's gonna happen. So I hit a breaking point and hit the dizzy dash to mom and pop's room. And usually I'd have to knock before I open the door, but this time I just busted into the room and I was like, I swallowed a dime. Ah! Boy, when I tell y'all I was slobbering and crying, I'm talking about my eye was so cockeyed, bro. My eye left the planet, like it wasn't coming back. My parents didn't know if I was looking at them or looking at the ground, like. And I was talking to my mom about this the other day, and she was like, you was stumbling like a crackhead that needed a hood. And I was like, and when I was crying, bro, I was making the ugliest face, bro. I'm talking about my eye was doing a permanent Cupid shuffle, bro. My eyes were so cockeyed, I didn't even know if I was my parents' son or my parents' pet chameleon. Bro, I really look like one of those googly eyes, like, like I'm pretty sure my mom and dad had a hard time trying to figure out who I was talking to. I really felt like my life was ending. That's how bad it was. I really thought I was gonna die. I was telling my mom like, oh my gosh, mom, I'm gonna die. My mom was like, you're not gonna die, son. No, mom, I'm gonna die. You're not gonna die. I see the light, mama. I see the light. It's going on. I'm gone, mama. I'm gone. This boy. I'm falling to the ground. I'm tripping. I'm swaying side to side. It was bad, bro. I was like, I'm gonna die. Bro, I was paranoid. Nigga, I ran outside like screaming and crying. I'm like, bro, it was insane. I really was so dramatic with it. I mean, I'm dramatic now, but like, it was way worse back then, bro. But it's mainly due to the fact that I didn't know kids swallow coins all the time. I didn't know that. I'll tell y'all one thing. I never put money next to my mouth ever again. I learned my lesson. Because when I tell y'all I was paranoid, I was paranoid. You think I'm paranoid today? Bro, I was I was 8. Bro, after that, every time I looked at coins, I wanted to throw up. I was paranoid for about a good 2-3 days. My mom checked my Padoop every single day. And eventually, on the 3rd day, she checked my Padoop and found out that I had swallowed not 1, but 2 coins. Which was weird because I looked at the coins and I'm thinking to myself like, oh, did they multiply in my body? I thought I only swallowed 1 coin. What's going on here? My 8-year-old little brain back then couldn't compute. Somebody slide me the software. It was crazy as my brother, he was like, I tried to tell him, all because when he was younger, he swallowed a coin too. Oh! So for the past year, I got back into working out. Sometimes. I'll admit it, I've been pretty lazy lately. I don't know why I be telling folks I work out every day like I used to. I just do it a lot now. I be on stream straight, capping out my cranium.
Yo, Devonte, you work out, bro?
Yeah, a lot.
You got some big old beefy arms, gang?
Which is crazy because 5 months ago, I was pumping iron, pushing my body to the brink of destruction to get back to my former glory, trying to break my sand limits every day. I ain't have time to rest. The 300 Spartans needed me, all because of one reason. So let me take y'all back. So 5 months ago, I'm at Books A Million trying to hold myself back from buying the entire shelf of my favorite manga. Again, when I run into this cute Lating sitting down at the coffee shop reading a book. We're not gonna use her real name, we're just gonna call her Sasha. I'm like, golly, I'm trying to see what's up with Shawty. That's when my anxiety start going bazoingas, because I knew this was an S-rank side mission that I couldn't pass up. So I go to the bathroom and activate my Rizzagon just to gather up enough courage to talk to this woman. Shoot, I even added some extra bumps to make sure this side quest wasn't in vain, because failure was not an option. So I walk up to her, rizz her up a little bit, even though I was mad nervous. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought rejection was around the corner. But crazy enough, she started flirting back, which caught me kinda off guard cause I ain't know she found Ninja Turtles attractive. I'm like, hey, you trying to get a smoothie together? Don't worry, it's on me. She like, sure. She stand up. She towering over me, looking like a sexy iron giant. Like, shorty was tall. Plus, she was a sexy tone of muscular. I could already tell she go to the gym and was blessed by God himself with a BBL starter pack. Sasha really looked like she could choke slam me with her thighs. And I'd be okay with it, cause she was fine enough. Listen, I love my women built like an hourglass, thick in all the right places. But ever since I've been going to the gym consistently, I done added a new meal to the menu. I done garnered this sudden attraction to gym girls. Not like the super bodybuilder girls, but the ones that kind of look like this. Yeah, I'd let her Batista bomb me into a bed. Absolutely. For her, I'm a munch, I don't care. Fight me. In the past, when looking at women like that, I used to think, dang, I hope she don't suck me up and throw me through a wall. But now I'm like, dang, I'd let her suck me up and throw me through a wall. Shoot, I don't mind dating a street fighter anyway, if she looked good enough. I know Chun-Li can strangle me with just her thighs. But if she started flirting with me, then hey, you is one freaking motherfucker. So I'm thinking, you know, I don't do this often, but I don't mind potentially dating a swole giraffe built shawty. I ain't never had a problem with it, cause me personally, I don't climb trees. I chop them down. So we sit back down, chat it up. Before I left, I'm like, here, I'ma leave my number with you. It's up to you whether you wanna hit my line, baby, and I skedaddle. Personally, I ain't care enough if she'd hit my line or not, cause regardless, I did my thug thizzle. An hour later, she hit my line. Ooh wee, Morty, it's going down, big dog, it's going down. I ain't waste no time setting up a date, which was at DCU. The Crib University. So fast forward to our first date, which was an anime and chill session. As soon as she leave, I'm knocked out for about 5 hours because we stayed up very long. Bruh, tell me why I wake up to her setting up the next date. And guess where too? The gym of all places. My heart started doing jumping jacks because by this time around, I ain't touched a weight in a long time. And during our first date, I capped OD talking about I was in shape, but mama ain't raised no puss. So I took her up on her offer. Couldn't back down now anyway. I'm already deep into the water. And seeing as she was a gym rat, she was gonna find out sooner or later. She like, okay, cool. I get off my DoorDash job at 5 and need some time to get ready. So 6 all right with you? I'm like, sure, yeah, for surely. So I get to the gym, right? I see her standing in front of the building waiting on me, which was odd at first cause she could have been waiting inside. Like, come on, what's going on here? Whole time while I'm walking up to her, I'm keeping it cordial and I thought this was gonna be just a regular gym session. But oh boy, I really had no idea of the hell she was finna put me through. Her foot was going 300 miles per hour. This is how it went. Hey, you showed up. You ready? I was born ready. Push! Push! Let's go! Let's go! Move! Move! 10-second break, 10-second break! Push! Push! One more rep, one more rep! We have to push past our sand limits! Psych! We have no limits! Bro, when we got done, I was physically, mentally, and spiritually exhausted. My body was literally on the brink of destruction. I felt like Yusuke in that cave after trying to hold in every drop of Genkai's power. Sasha really put me through what my coaches back in high school put me through during football. Like, I didn't know if this was a gym date or a training session for the Tournament of Power. So she checked up on me. I told her I'm fine. Straight capping out my cranium. Boy, I felt like All Might after his fight with All For One. She walked back over to the workout area and I walk up to the front desk, parched. I asked for a water and next thing I know, bro, I felt like I was dying. I hit the counter, then the floor, the worker at the front desk, step in the name of help. He gave me some water to drink, which kept me somewhat conscious for like 3 minutes. This was the first time in my life where I didn't have 100% control of my body. I was at a good 20%. 3 minutes later, I managed to regain enough strength to move. The worker walked me to the bathroom. I get in the stall, didn't even take a dump. I just sat there in the stall, butt clenched, body slouched, with my mental and physical strength depleted, almost on the verge of passing out again. I sat there in that stall for about a good hour, thinking to myself, dang, I gotta get back in shape, cause this is ridiculous. I hope she don't want no finished product, cause I'm a work in progress. After that hour, I walk out the bathroom. She at the front of the store, waiting on me. I walk up to her, I'm like, what's obvious doesn't have to be explained. I know you capped. I can already tell. That's why I worked you so hard. I forgive you. Just don't do it again. Bro, for the next 3 months after that, I worked out like my life depended on it. And she was my motivation. Sadly though, during that time, she moved away and we slowly grew apart, leaving me to where I'm at today, working out just to stay fit, with myself as my #1 motivation. However, still don't work out every day. Instead, just a lot.
Hey, listen.
As a black man in America, because of stereotypes, there's a couple things I can't do or I'ma look suspicious. Wear hoodies at night. Oh my gosh, it's a thug. Look around in gas stations for more than 5 seconds. Good golly, he's a thief. And the primary one, so much as breathe around cops. Did I just catch you trying to breathe oxygen around me, boy? Yeah, and the list goes on. And what I learned was the worst thing you could do in each of those situations, unless they pull out the blicky, is overthink and freak the freak out, which was the one thing that happened a couple years ago that almost got me into some deep doo-doo. Let me explain. All right, so 6 years ago, back in freshman year of college, at the end of the second semester, I went back home. That means no more parties, no more eaters, and no more getting high off of life. And when I got back home, I met up with my homies and this girl from the past named Ann. A lot of y'all from my OG channel know who Ann is. A lot of y'all don't. And that's okay, because I'm gonna give you a short description. She was a little thotty with a slight body oddy that was not the brightest, but she loved living the fast life, which was weird because why are you hanging out with us? We're the opposite of living the fast life. Like what? I'd known her since high school. At the time of this story, we were both the same age and lived with our parents, but we were both going down 2 separate paths of living. Now, I'm gonna be honest, when it came to hanging out with her, she was a liability, not an asset. Something always went wrong when I was around her. That's why I only hung out with the bit once every blue moon whenever one of my homies in my circle wanted her to come, which happened to be the day I came back from the semester. That and I only hung out with her when it was my turn. Me and my brother hit up the homies to hang out. One of them asked if she could come because it was his turn. We all asked our parents if we could stay out longer than usual. Ours said yes. Her mom said no. So she asked her dad instead. He said yes and teamed up with her by distracting her mom in the bedroom so she could leave. Ooh-wee. Y'all gonna know by the end of the story why this backfired hard. We all decided to go to the lake, which was located at the end of a trail inside the woods down the street from our old high school. We all had fun for a couple hours, bada bing boop pow. Next thing we know, nightfall started creeping up, so we went back to the parking lot out front to chill at the car. Now this when the game changed. As we outside chilling, listening to some anime openings and some Tyler the Creator, we see a couple cars go by. One car, two car, cop car. Me being who I am, when I see the Jakes, I let the full bubbly side of my personality come out and become focused on the inside instead of looking focused on the outside. Like naturally, around certain people, I'm already extra as hell, so it's easy for me to let it flash out like a harlot working the block, just so the Jakes won't assume I'm a Jaquavius or a Tyrone. Freaking stereotypes. Anywho, as the cop cars pass by, we tell everybody to act normal, cause we the only ones in the parking lot. What does Ann's stupid ass do? Runs back into the car right in front of them. We're all like, Ann, what the frick are you doing? We told you to relax. Now you're making us look suspicious. And I knew we were about to get packed up because the cop car that just passed by swerved back around and pulled into the parking lot. Bruh, I was sweating like R. Kelly at a playground. Literally 20 seconds later, another cop car pulled up, bruh. First cop get out and started walking towards us. Everybody know the drill, except Ann degenerate ass who kept spazzing out in the car. Like, I don't know why you're in there, sweetheart. This ain't Rick Sanchez's car. It ain't gonna protect you. He asking for our IDs, what we're doing out here in the wood trails for. Did we have that Snuffy on us? All type of crap. And we're constantly reassuring him that we literally are just hanging out. Apparently, that wasn't enough for him, so he get to pressing us with maximum efficiency, trying to find any narco on us he could. Like, dude was on a mission to find that non-existent booger sugar. And whole time, I ain't take my eyes off of him for a second, just to make sure he didn't plant something in our car to frame us. He flashlighting around our entire car 3 times, flashlighted our tires, patted us down, then opened the door, flashlighted the back of the car, even found a burger wrapper on the floor that my homeboy ate from Five Guys earlier and swore up and down that this was a narco that I ain't even know existed. He talking about, does this wrapper contain 3D F-34 McDonald's Subway? I'm like, nah, but it does contain BEEF. And he got offended. So offended that he called over his boy. But lo and behold, the guy he called over was a guy me and my brother used to work with at our old fast food job. We're not gonna call him by his real name. We're gonna call him Jeremy. He like, what's all to come up? Oh, is that Devonte and T? Long time no see, dudes. Bruh, I wiped the sweat off my brow because it was somebody we actually knew. Ooh-wee. Look at God. After we caught up with Jeremy, the first cop told him that he'd been searching for that Snuffy on us. Jeremy saved our ass by telling bro to relax, cause we ain't them type of guys. So the first cop let his guard down. Next thing I know, Ann get out the car. He see her, see him, see her. He like, Ann, the frick you doing here? Your mama know you out past 12 a.m. Cause he knew her mama, who was an officer or office ma'am. Yeah. So Ann's like, yeah. He like, oh, all right then. Turns around and calls her mom. Ann start freaking out even more. He telling the mama how he ran into her and how she's safe, etc. But Ann's mama wasn't with it, cause she told her she couldn't go out tonight, leaving Jeremy confuzzled. Mama tells him she on the way, hangs up. 15 minutes later, and dad and mom pull up. She start cussing Ann out all in Korean, which me and one of my homeboys knew exactly what she said, because besides him, I had hella Korean friends growing up and watched hella K-dramas in the past. My favorite is Oh My Ghost and Splash Splash Love, just throwing that out there. She asking us who we were, cause she ain't never seen us before, and while we were with her daughter, we told her we were just friends. And whole time, Pop's just sitting there not saying a mother freaking word. Kept his mouth air sealed shut, cause he knew exactly who the culprit was for letting her go out in the first place when her mama told her no. And looking at him like, you not gonna say nothing? And you're right, he didn't. If you think for a second that he was finna snitch on himself, you thought wrong. Which, I mean, that's how a lot of humans work. When adversity hits some of us, we tend to save ourselves. He could have took accountability here, but he didn't. Shoot, both of them really, cause why would you go behind your mama back and ask your dad? Like, duh. Runs in the family, I see. Plus, I think he understood the wrath of old school Asian, Black, and Spanish mamas. That may be the leading factor why he kept his mouth shut. I don't know, just my speculation, but you're the man of the house, so nut up or shut up, nigga. And mama threw her butt in the car, grounded her for another 2 months, cause she did this before, and headed back to the crib. And as for us, we left. We were just happy we made it out unscathed. We ain't care about Ann's problem. We ain't have to. Cause one, that ain't got nothing to do with us. Two, she wasn't gang. She just hanged.
Hey, listen.
Going to another continent 2.5 weeks ago was scary. I ain't gonna cap. I went to South Africa. Now let's be honest, if you've been in captivity, I mean America, all your life, had a stereotypical perspective of it based off a 1 cent a day, can save this child's life African commercial, African booty scratcher jokes, and been brainwashed to think that they haven't advanced past Tinky's huts and despair, you probably think everybody look like this too. Well, cut the crap, cause I'm here to tell you from experience, that's cap. I used to think Africa, I don't want to go to no Africa. There's probably gonna be a zoo in my backyard or something. Like, give me some cool place to visit, like Japan or the DR. Until I went there. I ain't gonna waste no time. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit of what I experienced and learned. The positives and the negatives at the same time. IRL vlog version of this trip on my second channel, link in the description in my channel page. Okay, first off, coming into South Africa, I didn't see naked people running around, chucking spears and going back to their huts to hump their ladies. Everyone there, even the cities, were very modern. They had different spots. The super modern cities, the cultural modern cities, the ancient cultural areas, the safari areas, the poor areas, the rich areas that have the folks that finesse the economy, the suburbs, almost endless plots of land with mountains almost everywhere, a bunch of different cultures, languages, and tribes. The vacation spots were also really nice too. I recommend Durban or Cape Town. Now, my biggest headache living there for almost 3 weeks was the constant power shutoffs. The second I turned on the Wi-Fi, boom. The minute I turned on too many lights, bam. The millisecond I turned on the washer, pow. That's when I found out that houses there needed one of 3 things to combat that: solar panels, an inverter, or a backup generator. I'd recommend just getting all 3, cause these people over here getting finessed like America. When the power goes off, there's water, but no lights, no Wi-Fi, no ceiling fan, no AC, no oven, no shirt, no shoes, no service. They really make you resort back to primal survival. Heck, I was walking through the mall that week and the power randomly shut off. In the mall! In the mall! Besides that, the food was bussin', the drinks were okay, except for the grape Tizers and hazelnut lattes. The mugs were so good, bro. Make you want to smack your grandma. The air is clean, the clouds are real, the land is rich. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you were digging and found some gold off rip. The pigeons were more masculine than the modern man. Nah, for real, like, I may have been in South Africa, but them pigeons was from New York. I ain't smell not 1 ounce of fear in them, bro. Like, where they Tim's at? You say one wrong thing to them pigeons, and they might pull out a shank. The roads wasn't nothing like the States. They were opposite, and so were the driver's side seats in the car, which at first had me confuzzled. I'm so used to the right that if I drove in South Africa, there might not be none of me left. I can't stress this enough. If you go to a restaurant, make sure you tip the waiter 10%, or it'll be offensive. If you don't got it, I understand, but if you do, go ahead and give up the goods, my boy, especially if they know. That's the norm over there, because a good portion of the waiters aren't freaking millionaires, or even highly paid workers for that matter. They struggling almost as much as the hobos on the street. Off rip, you wouldn't even know, because that waiter uniform makes them look like regular middle-class people.
You're broke. You're poor.
Same thing for the workers in other professions. Just be mindful. Straight up, you don't know what people are going through in their daily lives. Don't play with these people money, and they won't play with you. Don't believe me? I had an associate of mine get choked out that same week because her card declined in an Uber, so you have been warned. Speaking of Ubers, Ubers there are everywhere. Uber everywhere. We take out. We don't pay. Yeah, all right. Anywho, if you order an Uber, they'll be there in less than like 2 or 3 minutes, bro. Especially in Sandton and Johannesburg. And a lot of them actually really have nice cars that are cheap. Well, for me, of course. I'm talking about the luxury cars and the sports cars are cheap. Also aesthetically pleasing. I don't know about the inside though. The neighborhoods are actually safe. A lot of they neighborhoods. There's electric fences over the walls and the gates. And they got fences that'll impale you if you try to jump over it. Yeah, freak around and end up like Neji if you want to. The residents there think America is this dreamland until Americans like me school them on how it ain't all peaches and cream. It's more like gravy, turd, and hot sauce mixed together. Especially if you're of the sun-kissed complexion. Speaking of residents, if you get looked at funny because of whatever, don't pay it no mind. They gon' think what they think about foreigners. And if you're too nice, get tough, because they will. And I do mean will. Try to hustle you if you don't know how things work over there. Especially if you're a foreigner with money. I ain't saying you don't gotta help them out, but be careful is all I'm saying. Some people actually need food, and some people just want money for something else. A lot of people over there try to imitate African American diaspora culture. From the swag, the looks, the music, the lingo, etc. In the slums of South Africa cities, I don't recommend going there because it's rough. Like, rougher than the South African suburbs, which are still struggling classes mixed in. I seen a little kid in the slums on the corner looking like a depressed father with 8 kids, a $50,000 tax bill, $700,000 mortgage loan, and a nagging masculine wife with 3 more baby mamas. Man, that really broke my heart, y'all. Like, it's one thing seeing it through the stereotypical commercial, but seeing it in person was a whole nother level of agony. I was in Soweto and saw a line of kids coming from school having to walk through all the chaos and smoke in the city just to get home. Just to find out some of them were the cause of the smoke. And I gotta give some of these people their credit. Instead of selling that booger sugar, the poor people out there were hustling to get that money and food. I was bombarded by folks trying to do anything for my money. Putting on street shows, a little bit of gaslighting, I ain't gonna lie. Selling products they made, even try to charge me for me filming with my own camera. Oh, and singing. Song number 3, chat. Ain't no way. I had to give them some type of bread for that performance. Now, if you an American, pop bottles, because the USD currency is way more valuable than their currency, which is rands. I need y'all to understand this. 1 USD is currently worth 18 rands. So for every US dollar you add, it's like adding 18 rands each time. So let's say you have 5 USD, multiply 5 times 18 and you get 90 rands. You just multiplied the value of the dollar times the amount of dollars you have. You added 18 5 times. The reverse will be you taking 90 rands and dividing it by 18 and getting 5. An easy way to remember the currency differences between South Africa and the States is America to South Africa multiplication. South Africa to America division. Remember that. The popo and the security are way more calmer and nicer, unlike the States where they could put a strap in your face and get away with it. But I'd be more scared of the security because they be more strapped than the officers. Bro, I saw security at the South African malls at each corner, AKs slapped across chest, eye in the direction of the butts. Yep, AK or not, men gonna be men. Overall, my experience was life-changing. I plan on moving there permanently soon, and no, it ain't because of the 2.5 weeks I spent there. I already made plans to move there, so don't think, son of a